How's it going, everybody? What a great live stream with Dr. Mike. That was awesome. And I am happy to carry this on in to the after chat. What is the after chat about? Well, we hopefully have Dr. Mike in the Discord, so we're going to focus on more questions for Ham Radio Deluxe. I think that's fantastic. So we're going to keep that going. Don't worry. But we do want to answer everybody's questions as we go on here. So ham radio questions, all of them. We're going to try and hit them all, as many as we can. So if you're here new, doesn't matter if you're on the YouTube, Twitch, or joining us on the Discord. Discord's preferred because we can hear your beautiful voice live to ask your question. Feel free to join us. The link is in the description, and we'll take your questions live. I do. You don't own it. You don't own it. I do. All right. Very cool. All right, let's hop into the after chat on the Discord and say hi to everybody. Let's get on down there. Hello.
Incoming.
There we go. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Can you hear me?
Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Did we get Dr. Mike in the chat, or did he get into some trouble? Oh, I don't think he was able to join us yet.
He's on text with us.
Portion.
Oh, okay. Can he click on the hashtag live stream? Or voice. I don't know if he got that message. Well, we talked for a little while, so I think he understood. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining us here on the after chat. As we wait for Dr. Mike to join us, Evan, maybe if you got an opportunity, you can text him or see if he'll respond to you in the text chat to click on over. Is there anybody?
I can try to work on that.
Thank you. Is there anybody here who is here for the first time that would like to say hi and or ask a ham radio question? Come now. That's what we do out here. Try and help people out. Go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Whoever said I.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Mike. So I'm just listening for a few minutes.
Oh, you're in then. Okay, so I didn't see. Oh, now you're in. Okay, good. I see you there. So you're all set. So good. We got Dr. Mike here too. So what we're gonna do is I want to try and focus as much of the attention as we can to questions people have for Ham Radio Deluxe, since he's here. I don't want to take up all of his time, so let's focus questions for Ham Radio Deluxe to Dr. Mike now. So anybody on voice that has a question for him, you can come forward. You don't have to be new or anything. Just if you have questions, come forward.
Yeah, and I've probably got 5 or 10 minutes, something like that. So if there's questions, happy to answer them.
Oh, good. Yeah, fire for. Let's go, guys. Who has questions for Mike? Go for it.
Mike, more of a suggestion. I know you were talking about using TeamViewer to do your FT8. When you build in your remote software later on, will you have voice available for that as well, for single sideband and stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been wanting to do that for years, and a lot of people, when HRD first came out, people were using Skype for the audio path, and lately people have been using something called REMOD, which is fine, but we're actually my intention is to put in an XMPP server that will be able to set up essentially a SIP call between your remote and your host station to get the audio path, as well as we intend to have a chat channels. So, and kind of areas of focus. So if you want to be in the chat channel for, contesting, you'd be there. If you want to be in the chat channel for DXing, you'd be there, depending on what you're doing. But that same service would handle the audio path from the remote station into your radio. That's the plan.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else in there with a question that they'd like to ask to Mike since he's here? Let's make sure we keep those HRD questions coming.
Are you, just quick question, are you thinking about, in that same vein, having like chat channels between other HRD users? So
Oh, yeah.
maybe that's what you already were hinting at, but
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, my intention is to have kind of a way for people who are using Ham Radio Deluxe in the moment to be able to interact with each other. Say, for example, they're all on, if we were on, 10 meters FT8 like I was earlier. One of the things that I've, when you saw earlier on the show, when I've had 10 people calling me, and it takes time, right, to go through the 15-second time slots. I'd be happy to just post something in that chat channel that says, hey, I've got a list of 5. I'm going to answer this one next.
Right.
So at least, people who are listening actually know that, okay, I'll stay here and wait on this station because I know that they're going to answer me back. But give people a way to interact with each other is what I'm after.
yeah, another thing you could use it for is like you have like a support channel or something like that, not where your technical support's there, but where others of us are in that chat, and somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I'm trying to do this. Has anybody else done it?" And then you come in and you say, because I mean, honestly, Josh's Discord or we'll do the same thing. There's a ham help, and being able to interact with other hams that have done the same thing or something like that is always helpful.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Absolutely. And I mean, I hadn't thought of putting, but I mean, I don't know that I'd put my own tech support people in there, but to your point, communities of interest supporting each other is a great idea. And I think that would be very, very successful.
It was brought up. It was brought up before. Grid Tracker has a chat set up, but it's 1-to-1, and I think what Don's saying is more of an open chat, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Then people can help each other out.
Yeah, one of the things you could look at too, where you don't even have to, I think, write software, is set up something like a Slack channel, where because I know the Pota guys use Slack quite a bit to communicate with each other.
It's true. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a question for Mike. So I think I've got my HRD connected to my, or vice versa, WSJTX connected to my my HRD, and you were showing the red lines under your what do you call it, the notify
HRD alert.
HRD alert. Yeah, I don't see the red lines under like calling me. When I select calling me, it doesn't show the red line. So what am I doing?
Are you seeing? So you're definitely in HRD alert, right?
Yeah, I've got it as one of the windows in my logger right now.
Okay. Well, oddly enough, I do have about 10 customers saying that they don't see the colors, and that's something we're looking at. So I'm happy if that's exactly what's going on with your situation there. I'm happy to go get somebody to help figure it
maybe.
out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think that I'm up to date on my license. I could be wrong though.
Well,
But
it shouldn't. Let me go and look you up. That shouldn't. If you're able to bring up the the window at all, then it should work.
okay.
Let me
well,
go and look, and
yeah, I'm
I'll
just
just check your
curious.
date.
Hey, M. Newkirk, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Very good. Let me pull that out of the way there. All right. So this is my, this is the HRD screen here. It's my logger above me, and then all this black text is potentially like DX and stuff that I have access to.
Okay.
Kenya, Canary Islands, all that stuff. And I am
So
I am filtering on what I
help me
hear.
find.
Yeah.
Are you still in Zoom? Or are you? How do I see your screen?
Oh, I'm on YouTube and Twitch right now. I can drop the link.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Twitch is crashed.
Twitch has crashed? Oh, thank you for telling me. Let me
No, I think Mike has just crashed.
let me re-enable that. I'll grab the link there for you. Oh no, I'm on Twitch. You should be able to see me.
Yeah, your date's good, Josh. I mean,
Okay.
that's not what's.
Okay.
I know there. I absolutely know there's a few situations I can't explain why at the moment. We're looking into it. So
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Okay, more questions for Mike since he's here. Let's use his time. But by the way, again, Mike, thank you for holding steadfast and getting through the live stream. You did a great job, and I think we answered a ton of questions. So I can't. And by the way, Don's in here, so the guy with the good questions, Don is in the chat right now. He's the one who asked the last question.
yeah,
so.
good.
Well,
Yeah, love it.
by the way, there is a question in YouTube chat.
Okay, let me go back and find that.
How can you download your logbook from QRZ HRD? So in QRZ, there's an export function, and once you go and export it, it comes down in an ADIF, and then you just import it like I demonstrated on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing colors there, bud.
I don't see the red though. The ones that are calling me.
Well, no,
I have calling me selected. And so that's why I thought that would work the way that you're...
see where it says the WSI filter to the right? Leave that alone. Well,
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
calling me alone. The one to the right of it where it says WSI filter on, set that to off.
Okay.
Click it and drop down, set to off.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if I've got people calling me.
Now go back. No, it's you're now the 11th person, bud.
That's fine.
I don't know why the colors aren't showing up. But one of our tech support people was working with somebody on this the other day, and it's something local about the machine. But once we figure it out, then we'll fix it for everybody.
I think I'm making contact, so I think we're good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you're showing the calling me, then they're definitely the stations that are calling you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you something. Go to options down in the HRD alert pane. It's probably a couple over from the filters we were just.
Oh,
tinkering
options.
with.
Yep. Options.
There you go. Next one to the right.
Appearance.
Yep. And then click on decode filters.
Okay.
Do you have decode filters tab?
Yes, I do.
Either that or there's a lag. Okay. Then
Yeah, there's a lag.
click on add.
Okay.
And then give it a name. Put in CQ or me as the name.
Okay.
And then come down to the filter field.
Uh-huh.
And type in CQ, comma, percent, call sign, percent.
Is this lowercase or uppercase?
It shouldn't matter. I put it uppercase.
So CQ, comma, percent, call sign, percent?
Right.
And anything else?
And then save that.
And hit OK.
Click OK. Yep. And then click OK again to get out of the next screen.
Okay.
So now if you click on the calling me drop down again, in the upper left hand of the HRD alert, right above your head.
Yep. Okay.
Scroll all the way down.
Okay.
Keep that drop down open.
Which drop down?
Keep that the one that says calling me.
Okay. Oh, do I need to click on CQ and me?
Yeah, come all the way down in that drop down to the last one.
Okay.
And then when you do that, now it's going to show you the stations that are calling CQ and the stations that are calling you.
Okay.
So that's just another way to, and you need the colors obviously, because without the colors, you still have to have WSJTX up so you can clearly see who's calling.
Right. Yeah, that's where I was trying to get to. But yeah, I'm assuming I can get that fixed. This is all.
So
I hadn't used HRD alert, so this is all kind of new to me.
See the alarm bell there? To the left of the alarm bell is this blue double arrow, horizontal double arrow.
Yeah.
Click that.
Okay.
Next one over.
Yep.
There you go. Click that. And that'll open this up so the stuff's not all clobbering each other.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah,
now you can see. Now, what I can see here is that you don't have a call sign lookup choice enabled.
Uh-huh.
So you would go to Tools, up at the top menu, Tools, call sign lookup, and then you can put in QRZ if that's what you want to use. But that's why you're not seeing any data under county, state, and zones.
I don't see Tools call sign.
Come on down to Configure.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I probably lied. And then call sign lookup.
Oh, so I got to log into QRZ. I'll do that. Does it handle the authenticator? Because I use the authenticator on QRZ.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure, but I think so. And I can tell you're a Windows user too, or a Mac user, but
no, this is all Windows, obviously, but
okay.
Because I'm on HRD, right? I think. So let's see. Was I'm missing something else? Oh, yeah. I'm not seeing the logs showing though. The ones that I've made today, because this is the 15th, and they're not showing up right now. So maybe I've screwed something up.
Click the width button up there too. That's above up a little bit.
Got it. Oh wait, wrong one.
You see add contest, delete, and there's width. And then if you click width, that'll kind of open that up so you can see it a little bit better.
Yeah, but
there's some from the 14th. That's some.
Yeah, no.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I made a bunch of contacts today, and they're not in there though. So maybe I have something screwed up right now. Potentially, it's not piped through.
Did you make them in WSJTX?
Yes.
Go up to Tools in the upper left in the Tools menu of Radio Deluxe.
Yes.
And Configure. And then under Configure, go down to QSO forwarding.
I don't see that. I see Configure log. Is it under Logbook? No.
Nope. QSO forwarding. They're in alphabetic order, bud. Come on, all the way down. It's like the sixth one from the bottom.
Forwarding. Got it. Okay.
And that's why they didn't go in. So,
okay.
Click on look up missing fields on receive under UDP.
Yep.
Under UDP receive.
Yep.
click on look up missing fields, and then you can skip that one. Go down to the next one that says receive notifications from UDP on port. Hang on a second. I never memorized this stuff. 2333. And then, so put 2333 in the receive port number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then click, why is OK grayed out? Okay, click on, light the other boxes up to, and just leave 1260 or 12,060. So click on the one above it. Yeah. Select a log for that. And the drop down.
Oh, there it is. Now it's open.
Oh, no. It's, well, hang on. There you go. Now click OK.
All right.
And then once you do that, then when you click on the OK for the one that popped up, I'm hoping it will show up. And if it didn't, we got to make sure it's coming out of.
Yeah, that's possible that I don't have it turned on WSJTX now they think about it.
Right, exactly. So go ahead, pop over, back over into WSJTX. And it's under
broadcast
settings, reporting. And that last one is what
you need. So 22.
Oh, no, sorry. Let me hold it. Sorry. Let me pull it up over here and I'll make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
No worries. Sorry, everybody. I'm hogging the time for to solve my problems.
Oh, this is good. This is good, though, because a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you want to check that bottom box and your IP address just for now. Are you using a grid tracker right now?
I am. It's not on right now, but I do use it.
Okay, so just for demonstration purposes, put in 127.0.0.1.
Okay, and then the port should be what? It should be 2333.
2330. Yeah.
Okay, so then that means if let's
and then
log
click
another
OK.
contact. Let's log another contact and see if we get it.
That means no more FT8 off for you.
Oh, so that's interesting. So, Mike, you don't know about this. There is a group of people that do something called FT8 off, and they use a special IP address that we forward contacts to, so that we all log together on a scoreboard.
Oh yeah.
And that was the IP address that I just overwrote.
Yeah, it keeps score.
Well,
so that's probably why.
So long as you remember that, you can put it back. But there's
and it doesn't bother you that that's quote deprecated and they're supposedly going to take it away.
Yeah, I mean, it. Let me put it this way: I'm only minorly concerned about it at the moment.
Well, if you have any influence.
Well, I do have a pretty good relationship with one of the developers on the WSJTX team.
Mm-hmm.
He and I have been having conversations about what would I have to do in order to add FT8 and the other WSJTX modes into DM780 so we can do it native within DM780.
Nice.
Right now, without going into a lot of detail.
Right.
The way the thing is licensed right now, it would cause us to have to publish all of our source, which I'm not going to do. But yeah, I've got a pretty good relationship with them there. But there's nothing wrong with the UDP method, really. I mean, it's perfectly fine. But,
yeah, as long as they don't take it away, and I don't see any reason for them to do it.
I don't.
Silly.
Why are they deprecating?
There's too many. I mean, every logging application on the planet still uses that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so it's not going to change anytime soon. And I don't know why they would want to pull it, but
yeah.
Well, did you make a new queue yet?
Yeah, we're working one right now. So let's see if it goes through. We'll see if we pop in. Otherwise, I can just go grab the WSJTX ADIF file and pull it in.
You could import it, but let's make sure that This is working. Looks like you're.
I don't want to lose, any of the contacts I made today. That's why. Oh, we didn't get to it, and that's another reason to have you back in the future. Is the label making is, I think, superior and much better in HRD than other loggers. And for people that have a lot of QSOs like I do, a lot of QSL cards, the labels are huge. Oh, there it is. You got it. It's right there.
We have actually. I mean, if you click on highlight the top 6 or 10 of those things, if you would, Josh, the QSOs.
Sure.
Yeah, you're just click on highlight your most recent 6.
Okay.
Let's just say.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, will you save this so we can watch this if we're not watching it now?
I'm streaming to YouTube right now.
Yeah, it's getting saved.
So
we've all figured this out.
Click on the print label button and the button bar up above.
Yeah, right here, everybody, right here on the top. There it is. All right, print label. I don't. My printer's not turned on, but we'll see what it does.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We got a little hourglass and something, maybe.
Yeah, if it's the first time you run it, it's got to do a little bit.
Where's the window? There it is. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, look at that label. This is a cool label. This is a way superior label than what I've been doing. Yeah.
So the cool thing about this is we've completely rewritten all this code. We've completely rewritten all this code. We're using external libraries for it now.
Okay.
But let me point out a couple things about this. You can set your label printer, you can select all that stuff in the upper left, and you can select your font size and all that stuff. And you can add in different fields now. Anything from the database can be added in. Then there's a place where you can put custom messages.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a place where you can decide, what do I want to update the QSL sent status of the ones I just printed. But don't miss this. In the lower left where it says skip print preview when clicking the print labels button is really cool. Because once you get everything set the way you want it, and I've got a QL700 single label printer, so when I want to print a label, I'm usually printing one at a time. So I click on that with that button checked. I click on the print label button, and it just prints it. I don't have to go through the print preview.
Good.
Now, whenever you want to get to the print preview, you just simply have to right click on the QSOs and go through the menu to get to it.
Yeah, I print a lot of labels. I have a Dymo printer, and I'm just cooking. Like when I sit down with a stack of QSL cards, I got to move through like a ton, and this is a way better approach to it. So yeah, that's very, very good.
So click the X button to exit out of this, Josh, and I just want to show the other way to get to the same UI.
Yeah.
Does it print the address labels too?
Oh yeah, yeah. If the address, obviously, if the address is in the QSL, so right click on the selected QSOs.
So does it pull the address
and go down?
Head?
Yeah. So file, and then go all the way down to go up again from
print
file
labels.
Yeah. So once you click that,
nice.
I mean that's how you get there if you've enabled that skip print preview piece.
Right.
But if you go see where it says QSL labels, it's like the first box. Change that from QSL labels. The drop down will show you
address labels. There you go.
Address labels, right?
I'm not going to click it because I'm live. I don't want people to. Yeah.
You can also do QSL cards. And so one of the things I like to do is that I don't always want to print a label because I'd like to eliminate the expense of labels in my life. So what you can do is you can use this option to feed your pre-printed cards to the envelope slot of your printer. Either print them on the back, or you can adjust where it prints if you want to put it on the front or something if you've got a blank spot for it.
Okay.
You can also see where it says image. It's about a third of the way down in that menu. You can add an image to the background if you want to.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to put go over to the right, the three dot menu to the right of that.
Yeah.
Gives you the ability to find the image, and then you can put the image as your background for your card, and basically design your own card. And then this text prints on the top of the card.
All right, let's see if it pulls up the image.
Wow.
I can't tell whether I'm lagged.
Excellent.
I'm lagged.
Excellent.
I must be lagged.
Excellent. It did it. Excellent.
No.
Perfect.
Very good.
Excellent.
Great.
Absolutely killed it. 73, sir. 73.
But I'll tell you, man, I was so happy to get this done because for many years it's just been a struggle to get this right.
This is awesome.
And
this is awesome.
Our developers, kept trying to be smarter than the label manufacturers, right? And they're gonna code their own code to do this. And finally, one of our beta testers said, "Well, why don't you use this third-party library that I use for this stuff that I built?" And we did that, and 48 hours later, this showed up. One of our developers finished it off. It's just fantastic.
That's great.
I mean, there's a zoom function up at the top, and it's just all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I ended up. So I'm one of the things that I was always very passionate about, and it wasn't necessarily my forte, but I got wrapped up in it. Is the amount of clicks it takes to do anything. It's part of an HCI, a human interface kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I have other loggers that I've used, and I get so frustrated by the amount of clicks it takes for me to get to just printing the actual label. And generally, when I sit down to do a bunch of QSL cards, I'm bad. I let them sit for months, and then they stack up, and I'm sitting down and I'm doing like over 100 at a time. And I can't be having this repetitive stress motion constantly when I'm trying to print QSL cards. So anything that can speed the process along, and this does. The only thing is there a way to batch call signs that I want to look up for QSOs? That's kind of a weird one, right?
Yeah, you can get out of this, and you've got the filter pulled up behind this anyway. But you just put in the call signs you're looking for. So if check the box up by call sign, type in call sign, and hit apply.
Can you do call sign comma, call sign comma, call sign comma, and then get them all?
I don't know, but. There are other ways to filter through this stuff.
It's not a big deal if I can't, because I'm generally.
I could show you.
Time.
I could show you how I do it, but basically, I go through a process of filtering and tagging these things. So when I filter and tag them, then basically, I'm only pulling up the ones that I want to print for, and it's highlight, click the print labels button, and a miracle happens, and the labels start spinning out.
Right. Yeah. This is more than what I need at this point. So this is perfect.
By the way, we didn't talk about the band map on the far right.
We did not. And this is also very handy.
And that's really cool. It's a visual representation of what's coming through the DX cluster network.
And I'm filtering. This is 10 meters right now. So 10 meters is actually still going, because this is stateside contacts, and then this is DX that's showing up. So that's actually pretty cool.
Quite often I leave it at 6 meters because 6 is the only one that I haven't worked 100 on. I'm at 92. So, but yeah.
Very
or
good.
you can have it just follow whatever your main VFO is. However you want to do it.
Well, I've been dominating Mike's time. Mike, thank you so much.
I'm gonna run.
Okay, Mike's got to head out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time and sticking to the live stream. You did a fantastic job. It was a great live stream. So thank you so much.
All right, cheers, mate.
Cheers. Go enjoy a Foster's.
They don't drink.
I know they don't. I know. They don't drink that swill.
Mike, that's unexpected coming from a Hoosier to say cheers.
Well, I've had to pick up the lingo. I've been here 3.5 years, and it's interesting because in the U.S., when you greet someone, you would say, "Hey, Josh, how you doing?"
Right.
And Josh would say, "I'm doing good. How you doing?" Doing good. In Australia, they say "going." So, "Hey, Josh, how you going?"
Right.
And if I ask Josh, how you going? He might say, "Well, I'm going to go buy car," or
I'm going to go to HRO and spend too much money.
How you going? All right.
Well, just remember, you could always come back home again in Indiana.
I will one of these days. Probably. We'll see how it works out. I do like the climate. There's no snow here, bud.
Oh, then you come to California, man. You can visit any weather you want. That's the best thing about California.
Within 4 or 5 hours, you can.
That's it. You can visit anything you want, man. Mike,
All
it
right,
was
see you guys.
fantastic having you as a guest. Thank you so much. You're welcome back anytime. Thank you.
Thanks again. Bye-bye. 70
Right, see ya. That was great. That was really fun. I cannot tell you in the time I've been doing live streams, the fact that Mike just stuck to it and he figured out the problem and we had a really good live stream from it. I can literally just go cut out those middle sections, and I'll do that after we're done here. But yeah, just really, really nicely done, Mike. So cheers to you, mate. It was a great live stream. All right, so let's go. Let's open it up for anybody. Let's just have some fun. Anybody in there with questions, ham radio questions, anything like that. Let's chat with some folks and see if we can solve your problems. So anybody on the chat, on the YouTube, or in the voice stream, come forward and say hi if you want to.
Hello. I'm new to ham radio, but I've watched this whole live stream, but I'm kind of confused. Is this for like HF bands, or is what kind of radio is this, like DMR or?
So that's a really good question. Hypothetically, most of the time people are probably using this on HF, but there are many people who log their contacts on VHF and UHF, and you could use this to log your VHF, UHF contacts for sure. Now, if you're doing, you mentioned digital modes like D-Star or DMR or whatever. If you're using those and they're connected over the internet, we don't generally log those contacts. That's more just kind of a fun communication type of thing we do than anything. So yeah, it depends. Most of this is about connecting your radio to your computer, however it is that you want to do that. But you don't need to. You can just use the log if you want.
All right. So you was talking about how logging with VHF, UHF, is that for more like Pota type situations, or?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, so you would use something like this to log a Pota contacts, summits on the air, that kind of thing, just so that you maintain a record of it. Even if you're uploading to the website for Parks on the Air or Summits on the Air, you still probably want to keep a record of it yourself so that you can, have a log, that kind of stuff, and see how far you've gone and distances and who you talked to, all that. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, good question. All right, anybody else in there with a want to just say hi or ask any kind of question? We'll take it. Don't worry. Otherwise, I'll just start showing off the new knife that I bought.
I got something for you, Josh.
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right. Last week in the podcast, I wrote in this. By the way, this is Dave.
Yeah.
KDP.
Hey, Dave.
And hey, it's how I mentioned to you that I had problems with the 705, and I sent it in, and
yeah,
and I was like 2 weeks out and didn't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after I sent that email, I got home from work, probably about the time you guys were recording the podcast. Got an email from Icom saying that my radio was on the way. And
oh, cool.
And I got it Monday.
Okay.
And it's back up and working again. Apparently, there was a filter that was out, and I'm assuming that it was probably the filter that to on the power side there to to clean up the power coming into the radio, because it was right off of that port, and they said, "Yep, that's what it was,"
Mhm.
and so they did get it fixed, and they did get it back to me.
Good. Good. Well, I mean, that's what they should do, right? What was the
Yeah, considering the fact that
just
it was just purchased not too long ago.
just out of
but yeah.
curiosity, what are we talking about cost to you to be able to fix this? Was there any cost to you, or what happened? What was the process like for
It
you?
was we did a bit of call tech support,
Mm-hmm. Sure,
and
of
then
course.
they forwarded me to service, and then they sent me an email saying, "Hey, send it to this address, and pack it up good or whatever," and gave me instructions on how to pack it up and all that stuff. So I packed it up at work, sent it. We ended up sending it UPS. It was $25 to send it from Michigan to Washington.
Okay.
To the service center in Washington.
Oh, is that where it is? Okay.
Yep. And then they sent it back to me, no charge sending it back to me. There was no charge on the thing. It shows like the billing hours would have been like $100 an hour, and then plus $37 part. But because it was all still under warranty, it didn't cost me anything to have it returned or repaired. But it was just cost me $25 to send it out to them.
Okay. Well, that's interesting information. So if you have an out of warranty Icom, you could be potentially dealing with $100 an hour.
Yeah, now today I'm fighting with Windows. Windows updated their drivers and doesn't want to recognize the Icom as a device on the USB. Go figure. It was working fine the other day. I was doing FT8 the other day, but yeah, I go to try to do it tonight, and yeah, so I've been playing with that tonight, and even did got the latest and greatest firmware up on it today too. So, but other than that, it's back and it's working great, and been enjoying it.
Right on. Cool. So who was it on Snow Cones said, if it's not a Tirpitz knife, I'm not interested. So I just jokingly searched it. Boker Tirpitz. The Boker Tirpitz knives. Those are some expensive knives, bro. Jeez. I don't know that I would carry a knife like that. That's ridiculous. Those are like all $1,000 knives. That's wild. Anyway, all right. So okay. So there's that. All right. Any other comments or it's made out of the Tirpitz battleship. Oh, so it's pre-World War II steel. Okay, I can kind of understand that.
Ah, the non-irradiated steel.
The non-irradiated steel. That's right. Yep. We know. We got somebody here who knows what's up. So you could make.
I do have a question.
Oh yeah, go for it, Steve.
So, like, I'm new here, and
yeah,
I'm
you're
about
new
to,
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
first time.
Yeah, first time. Anyway, so I have to do some work on my friend's Citizens Band radio, and it's got those trim pots in it, and I can't for the life of me find one of those plastic screwdriver trim pot turners. Can anyone point me in the right direction to find the right tool for those things? I don't want a golden screwdriver this radio.
I've got one right here. Hold on. Let me.
Radio Shack?
Yeah, everywhere. They're the plastic screwdrivers. It literally just has a little metal blade at the tip, and then the entire body's plastic. And then this end, I've cut it down because they needed it for some kind of specific tooling. But they're generally like a hex head or something like that. Mm-hmm. I have a couple
I'll
of
just go down to JCar when I can.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, I don't know what you search for those. What do you guys? Electric plastic screwdriver? What do you search for? Why am I blanking on that?
They used to be a thing that was used on television, and They had a name that was associated with that, and I've forgotten what it is, unfortunately.
Yes.
Because you used to stick them into the television, the back of the television, to adjust the colors on the back of the television back in the tube days, and you didn't want to get the stuff shocked out of you.
Yeah, and they're really helpful for exactly that, trim pots, because you don't want a bunch of metal when you're adjusting a trim pot because it's going to throw the whole thing out. Oh, I have a ton of Benchmade. Well, not ton's the wrong word. I have an Osborne and a Bali Song, and then now this Bug Out. I like Benchmade, generally.
Plus, I'm happy to do this mod because he's asking me to turn down the echo on his radio, which is first time I've ever heard that from a CB guy.
Let's see if we can pull this up. Actually, find you a screwdriver here. So, let's search for plastic electronics screwdriver. And there you go. That'll work. Or close to it. You could find something that'll work for that. I think I bought mine at an actual like a component shop, somewhere you go to buy capacitors and stuff like that.
Search Amazon for plastic screwdrivers for electronics. You'll find plastic, ceramic, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Aha! Okay, thank you guys very much. I have found them.
I bought a set of ceramic screwdrivers on Amazon.
You know what? I know we haven't got to the point of the show where I've completely gone off the rails yet, but I just like the juxtaposition of Amazon's best show, The Boys, with the Rings of Power listed on the same page. Two very different shows with very different levels of respect. The Boys is very good. The Rings of Power, not so good.
Yeah, very bad, actually.
House of the Dragon's much better.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. And I don't want to go completely off the rails by starting this, but Game of Thrones was, particularly everything before the last two seasons, was just so good. It was just so good. And comparing House of Dragons to Game of Thrones has just been there was something about the Game of Thrones where I almost felt perpetually confused in a good way. I was introduced to so many interesting characters that I wanted to remember them all. And House of Dragons just doesn't have that. It just is about this really drama-rich family. And I know that's kind of the point of it, because we're supposed to learn how the Targaryens lost their power and why they don't have dragons anymore and all that stuff. I mean, I get that's all coming, but I don't know. It's just a different thing. It's just totally different. Yeah, see, even here, this is not exactly what I was looking for. Plastic screwdriver does not...
Yeah. Those iFixit sets are really good.
They are, but they don't have the fully plastic screwdriver like we're talking about.
No, they don't. And in fact, the thing they're showing are things for lifting the edges of your phone up.
Oh, that's it. Look for trim pot screwdriver. I found it. Trim pot screwdriver. At $50, though, that's not what you want. Oh, it's a pack of 10. Okay. These are, by the way, these are disposable items. You're not going to be able to have they don't last a long time being made of plastic. That's kind of the point.
Why is Amazon such a pile of shit? It's
I'm live right now, Steve. I'm live.
I'm very sorry. Friday, 28th of October is the fastest delivery for these.
Well, that's because you're in the upside down. So yeah, trim pot screwdriver is what I was looking for. I had to get my brain hooked up correctly.
Steve, do you have a Home Depot type place?
Oh yeah, we got a couple.
You might go by there and look.
Hey mate, go down to Cashies, see what you can find.
Crime converters.
Is that what... It's a fencing organization.
Does Fry's Electronics still exist?
No.
Nope.
Sadly. No, but we still have Micro Center, which, by the way, everybody, go show
Mhm.
your support to a Micro Center. Go buy yourself a $60 laptop.
I don't think we have them in Washington.
Using a barbecue skewer and then just putting a point on the end tends to work too.
You're
I had
talking
to do that a couple
like
of
a
times.
bamboo skewer, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could
Mhm.
see that working. Bamboo's resilient enough to be able to make that work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm chuffed as chips at this new knife. This is exactly the size I wanted, believe it or not. I hate to say my Osborne is too big. It's not really, but a bug out, man. Look how small that is. It's got that axis lock too.
We've gone off the rails.
We've gone off the rails.
Yeah.
So I love the axis lock. I love the axis lock for the open and close. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Well, Josh, this isn't necessarily ham radio anyway. I wanted to say this is my first show back in like a year.
Mhm.
I fell out of love with ham radio because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And that whole apartment situation, that whole trying to get out to the world on a sling tenor from an apartment wasn't really helpful.
No.
So I'm in a house now. So hopefully today's show was a great one though because it's actually a product I used. I tried to come back a couple of times, and some of your shows were like at a level where I was like, okay, I'm not going to understand this at all. So this was a great show to come back for. Thank you for it. It was a great show.
Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad you're back. It's really tough, right? And this is the ultimate issue with the ham radio crash course is I want things to be approachable to new people, and I try to break down acronyms and stuff like that. I tried today to do that. Hopefully people caught that. But it's difficult. It's just hard. Ham radio is difficult. And so I think that ham radio is one of those things where if you struggle to meet it, it will always meet you. Right? So if you're always struggling to learn the acronyms and the concepts, it will always meet you there. It's just you got to burn the calories to get there. And sometimes it doesn't make it easy for you. It just doesn't. And I know that. And I try, but there's
we were
there's only
doing
so
well
much I
until
can
Don started asking questions. Then then we were off on the rails somewhere.
do. Well, no, Don asked really good questions though. But also Don's questions are also for what I call like a pro user, right? They're not always geared towards like people starting out. But you know what? We're all at different places in our ham radio career, if you will. And I think that the ham radio crash course should try and help out everybody. Like that's my goal.
Yeah. If you guys,
Oh no, I'm joking with Don. He has been.
I know. Yeah, I know.
And by the way, if you guys knew what TCI was, I just don't. I mean, it is so far beyond anything Icom and Yasu are doing in terms of rig control. It's not funny because you're literally talking TCP/IP to the radio. There's none of this emulated serial USB, none of that. And it's a single click and everything is done, audio and rig control.
Who's
there's also? Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say that there's also a lot of knowledge. There's also a lot of knowledgeable people here on Discord. If you have any questions, just ask here on Discord, and somebody will know.
All right, so I have not had enough beers to dive into this, but somebody on the YouTube, Johnny Marine, is asking, are you a good enough person, morally speaking, to enter heaven? How many lies have you told before? Have you ever stolen? Have you ever cursed or used God's name in vain? Ever hated anyone? Have you ever been selfish? This is literally Ray Comfort apologetics, and I'm not gonna dive in. So go enjoy Ray Comfort if that's what your game is, but that's not my game. But anyway.
Well, I haven't had enough beers, but I don't think with that question, I'm screwed.
Yeah, we're all screwed.
Oh, it's a bunch of bots.
Oh, it is. Oh my gosh, I'm getting Christian botted. Are you kidding me?
You want me to kick them?
No, I will, but I want to read this one. Wow.
It's the same. Oh,
is it?
No.
No, this is a different one.
It's
we're
slightly
getting
different.
We're getting Ray Comfort Christian bots. I've never even seen this before. All right.
And look at the guy with the
what's it, Superman or Kent? No, it's Ken Clark.
Yeah,
Bye-bye. It's a ham radio channel, man. We did have... Now, I will say, yes, I was very into my cups when we had our discussion on religion. And for those of you that were in the live stream, you were there, and that got cut from the other one. So it was... I think it was a highly passionate and energetic discussion, but then it did settle down, and we actually had some kind of actual positive talks. But I don't think that that's going to be a normal thing that we do in any way.
No,
and I definitely no more Ray Comfort bots. Your guys are just blocked if I see them again.
Yeah, to me, that's why we got rid of the political channel.
Yeah, Don, good point. And I need to hold myself to that same level. Is that this is a ham radio server?
There's another one.
Oh wow! Oh no way! This is crazy.
Wow!
I have a ham radio question.
A lot.
Bye. Did I ban someone for religion? No, I banned someone for talking about religion and preaching when we're not at all about that on this channel. This is a ham radio channel.
It's not appropriate.
Oh, I hold on.
Oops, I don't think he was one.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. I unblocked.
And in fact, he's a good guy.
Yeah, sorry, Sergeant Aton. Let me see. Yeah, you're good. You should be good. Sorry.
Well, is this a watch party?
Yeah.
Is this
it's bots.
Watch party up there?
No, but I mean, if you're talking about like, you can see Josh on YouTube and see what he's talking about while we're chatting now. So he's showing.
Not about the picture that just got put up there. It looks like someone's having a watch party of Josh.
Oh, they're at wait, where is that? Mike KMRD?
Yeah, that's the Pacific Beaches.
Oh, they're all at Pacific Beach. They're all in up north.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, where's Mike? Mike should get in here and start hassling the Ray Comforts.
I have a question.
Sergeant Aton can chat again, so we're good. So Sergeant, you're cleared. You've been cleared of all charges.
Yeah, and he's telling me I shouldn't call him a good guy.
Well, that's true. How can you expect to enter heaven when you're a filthy FT8 op? Well, I do try and work CW too to offset my sins, so I hope that counts.
That's
Do people know that this is the Jota weekend?
Yes. I actually was working Jota on 2-meter simplex today. I woke up, crazy day. I had a crazy day. We had a pancake breakfast for my kids' school. They raised $20,000 in funds. It's not a what do they call that? Not a fundraiser, technically, not a fundraiser. They raised the funds. I don't know what the hell they call it. It was a community event, whatever. But $20,000, and I'm literally walking from my house to school with my kids to go get my pancakes. And we worked like a couple of Jota stations at like 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, heck yeah, that's awesome.
Somebody is spamming Discord.
There's another bot. Oh,
no, it's a bot.
Discord. It's in Discord though. It's coming through from the Restream bot from Discord.
This is
so if you go on Wires X to the U.S. America link, gosh, I've been talking to all sorts of stations down under in Australia that have the Boy Scouts and the Girl Guides there, and they're handing around the microphone to talk to people all around the world. It's been fascinating.
You know what I like about that picture? I keep looking at this picture. There are actually a lot of women in that picture, and I was told there were no women in like ham radio. This is awesome to see women in ham radio.
They're just KMRD worshipers. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that out loud.
Is that what it is?
yeah, but don't.
Mike has a posse, huh?
It's his, yeah. All right, well, let's get in some ham radio questions before the Christians all take us out. By the way, everybody that's watching me that's a Christian and you're of this bot storm, go to the Atheist Experience. They're going to be live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Call them. with your questions. I bet they'd love to take any of your questions. I'm here to talk about ham radio. You can call them though.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's an antenna question at that.
Wonderful.
I need to build an outdoor antenna for my base station. And I was thinking of this design called a terminated inverted U antenna. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No. Terminated inverted U. Is that like a curtain or a half wave or some, or a foursquare kind of thing?
Here, let me give you the web address. You can look it up really quick while I explain it. But that's ultimately not my question. But it's www.crosscountrywireless.net.
Can you just drop the link in the chat and I'll pull it up?
Yeah.
Let's use technology in our favor here. Yeah, tell Mike, Kosher Pork Rinds, tell Mike to get on the after chat.
Maybe he doesn't have Discord on his phone.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Mike, come on. I believe that Jesus would ground his station properly. I do believe that. That's funny. Jesus. That's funny right there. That is very funny. I bet an end-fed half wave hung from the watchtower would be an awesome antenna. Oh man. So what was your question about this antenna though? You're looking up the link for it. Like, are you wondering if it's good?
No, actually, so the advantage of this antenna is that it's supposed to be really quiet, and it's kind of an all-band antenna. The disadvantage is it's not the most efficient antenna. You lose maybe 30% of your power.
Sure, because it's all banded. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But it would also be great because I could just put it. You have two, the way I would do it would be two 10-meter poles. It'd be just like in this article. You string a wire up 10 meters, then across 5 meters, and then down another 10 meters. You have ground rods at both ends, 9-to-1 balun at one end, and resistor at the other end. That's a terminator, which that's where your excess energy goes.
Mm-hmm.
But so I've been thinking, and this would be a little slightly stealthy. I just have the poles sticking up on the side of the house a little bit. But now I've been hearing a lot about this DX Commander antenna.
Oh,
everybody's
buddy.
Everybody's talking about
now we can
talk
praise
about
something.
religion.
Now let's praise the
Say,
DX.
hey, yes.
Hey, yes. Hey, yes. Amen, brother. Amen.
We got one of the big polystyrene hands to move up and down now.
All hail, Brother Callum.
I'm going to start speaking in tongues. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So
I was told I can find salvation on this chat.
Okay. So one, Mike, I'm glad you've joined us because I don't know if you saw the comments that we've been getting, but now we have the Church of Callum coming up and the DX Commander. So okay, so
I'm an ordained minister.
You are, yes. As one who has built the DX Commander, you've been anointed into the flock. All right, so I don't know about the antenna that's been asked about, this inverted U kind of thing, but the DX Commander is a resonant, basically fan dipole that's aligned vertically. So every band that you have an element for is going to be resonant and fully efficient. It's a great antenna, full legal limit in most cases, and I'm sure Mike would like to add more if he wants to.
I missed the question, but yes, just buy a DX Commander.
Yeah.
Just buy a DX Commander. The thing about the DX Commander I don't like is, running those radials would be kind of a pain in the ass with my yard.
Well, you can bury them. You can bury the radials.
It's like I would have half of them going over my concrete driveway.
No, you don't have to. So that's
No.
that's the thing to keep in mind with the radials is that they don't have to be like this perfect equidistant pattern, right? You can make certain radials shorter and you can make certain radials longer, and then sometimes some of the radials you can just kind of corkscrew all over the place. They don't have to be perfectly stretched out and equally spaced from the antenna. In fact, Callum has talked about people who've set up antennas up against a brick wall, and then they only had 180 degrees of radials under them, and they just kind of moved them across the lawn and, trenched them down a couple inches, and that's it. That's all they have to do.
Mine are 180 degrees, and
if you can,
I can't do 360, and the antenna just performs beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
You can dig the radials down, because I'm afraid of like the lawn guys are gonna like rip them up or something.
Yeah, you should trench them down if you can, and they make tools for that, or you can make a tool. You can literally just take an old kitchen knife if you wanted to, and just run it along the grass about 2 inches in, and just kind of push the radial wires into it, and the lawn will overtake it, and then you're good, and then they won't be able to. And then you could take like a little concrete blocks and go around the outside of where the radials kind of dip into the ground. Decorative, or a pot, if you will, cut a hole in it and put it around the antenna, that kind of thing. And then you should be fine. You shouldn't have a problem.
Okay, so this TX commander is
before.
Sorry, let the person ask the question go, and then the comment come after that.
So this TX commander is as great as everybody says. It's like
yes.
the hotness.
Yes.
Maybe not the new hotness, but the old hotness.
Well, here's a really good opportunity to state there's no new hotness in antennas, really. There's just novel approaches to understandings that we already have in RF transmission, and the DX Commander is a novel approach to a vertical antenna that is multi-banded. So, what was the other comment? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've done ground radials before on ground-mounted verticals. For like all band stuff, and I used a flat bladed shovel, with a flat, not curved, and I just made a slot in the ground, and I pushed the wire down in there, and all you're really trying to do is you're trying to couple the ground side of your feed with the ground of the earth, and that's all you're really trying to do is couple it. So, it doesn't have to be a perfect set of radials and other things. This is not like putting one up in the air. And that works, and it works well. Just keep in mind, depending on the kind of ground you're pushing it into, it can eventually corrode and eat the wires. I've tried to pull them up before when I moved, and I found out, they just didn't quite exist anymore.
Yeah,
because they were made out of copper.
So there's a couple of schools of thoughts on this. Like if you're talking about just having a radial so that your antenna is balanced, that's true, but there is an actual a positive to having a decently supplied radial system as a quote unquote ground for your antenna. That will provide a net positive if you have a really good radial system. And there are multiple discussions that have been had on how many radials do you have before this becomes too many radials, and the actual benefit you get from adding more becomes negligible. There is actually a number out there. So one wire that just comes off the side of your antenna, and there it is, there's your radial. No, that's not the best radial. Is it 32? Is it 100? Well, there's actually a discussion that talks about that for building a quarter wave vertical antenna. It is fascinating. You could deep dive that whole thing.
Yeah, in fact, Callum has several videos on it that explain it very well.
Hey, since we have Mike here, and the Ray Comfort bots have died down a little bit. Mike, do you what's the story on the ground up north? Would you like to be the reporter on the ground live for us?
The report on the ground is we just had some delicious homemade pizza.
Mm-hmm.
We're all full, and we're having a blast. We activated 4 parks today. Bands weren't the greatest shape, but we got it done. And I'm a little hungover from drinking malort.
Oh yeah. So what's the general consensus on malort in the field there, Mike?
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's what did I say? Battery acid, stomach bile, and Novocaine.
Novocaine was the secret.
Those are that's what it tastes like. And it kind of does numb the mouth a little.
It does. Yeah.
It's got notes on the nose. You're gonna get lemon pledge. A little bit of juniper, which is equally as gross. And what else? What other chemical did I say? Pine sol. Yeah.
Drano was in there too.
Drano.
I don't know if Drano was in there, but it might as well be.
I haven't imbibed Drano, so I don't know exactly what that flavor profile is.
I'm not the resident expert on Drano, but I'm told it's pretty sweet. No.
Oh, so it's like antifreeze. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I always equate it to like growing up with Johnson's No More Tears or Tears or however you want to call it. Like it's got a heavy shampoo flavor to me.
I didn't get any shampoo, but
yeah,
it's everything you don't want in a drink. It's gross.
I've heard, Mike, that if you enjoy or can just handle, be okay with the flavor of malort, then you have a full open pass to move to Chicago. Is that correct?
I would never want to move to Chicago.
Isn't that where malort's from? Chicago? Am I wrong?
I feel it is, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It is a rite of passage on your 21st birthday, I believe. You have to drink a bottle of malort.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I don't know what they do in the culinary universe in Chicago, but they certainly do. Their popcorn's terrific, but other than that, the hot dog with all the stuff on it. Lou Malnati's turned me around on their pizza. Their pizza's okay.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But I still like a New York style better. But crap! What the heck? I was going to say something and I forgot.
Well, I mean, I don't want to dip too hard into pizza, but they're almost completely different animals.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So I just want to make a shameless plug here for the Ham Radio Adventures Club because we're all how many? There's probably 25 people that we all got together in the Pacific Northwest. We're on Pacific Beach in Washington. And we've got, 5 houses that we rented? And 7 antennas up, 2 buddy hexes, do all kinds of ham radio related activities throughout the weekend. It's a nationwide, or I don't know if it's worldwide yet, but it's a nationwide ham radio club.
Yeah.
That does great adventures. So if you're interested in that, go check them out on their website. I'm sure it's probably hamradioadventures.com, maybe something. Sure, we'll go with that.
I'll pull it up. I will.
And, if you want to join, become a member, and you get to do cool stuff like what we're doing. So it's awesome.
Indeed. I will answer
a crap ton of great beer.
That's the best. There's the best reason to go out there. I will mention really quickly, there was a question I got earlier from Sci-Fi Gunslinger. Do I have a Pelican Go box? Pelican specifically, I do not. I think Mike has something that's closely related to that. My Go box is a Gator case. It's in a Gator case. It's a 6U Gator case. I probably could have got by with a 4U Gator case, but it's got wheels and a pull handle. It's pretty nice. So for everybody else who's like, what the hell is malort? So there's malort. I have some malort here. Malort. They get pulled out every once in a while, and I take a little sip, and I'll drink one in solidarity with my friends up in the Pacific Northwest. But it is from Carl Jepson Company in Chicago, USA. It is. I don't know how this came to be. I don't know. I don't really get it. I'm not like it's not a. You know how, like, whatever your feelings are on alcohol, like, you can generally mix some alcohols with other alcohols and make them taste okay. I don't know of a recipe that ever calls for, like, malort. I don't know what you do with malort, to be honest. I don't know. But so here you go. I've got a little trailer bit on that bottle. We'll drink it. Just so I can re-experience it.
I dropped a link to their...
It smells like shellac. It smells like something that I put on wood to accentuate the grains on it. Yeah, man, it tastes like wood. There's like wood in there. Oh.
Are you a closet malort lush, Josh?
No, I don't think so. I definitely don't enjoy it.
Are you sure that just isn't absinthe?
No.
I dropped.
Both made out of wormwood.
No.
I dropped a copy of their or a little graphic of their statement, if you will.
And
it's
it's
funny.
I support their statement. Their statement is accurate. Their statement is where it is. Oh wait, hold on. There's some malort enjoyers. Oh, hey, it came out of nowhere. Who is that that bearded gentleman with "It Came Out of Nowhere" the T-shirt from Woot with the call box and the DeLorean? That's amazing. Okay, it's not a drink for most people, but we're not most people. Though through the decades, Jeppson's Malort, a traditional wormwood-based digestive. Okay, so it is wormwood, but it definitely does not.
Digestive?
It definitely does not taste like what am I thinking of? Oh, it was just mentioned. Why did I just lose my mind? Absinthe has been thought of as a rite of passage or hangover cure. Sounds like a hair of the dog or that kind of thing. For many Chicagoans, Malort is a drink that is defined as the Chicago bar experience. So I understand that to be that is what people that are not in Chicago believe of people that are in Chicago. So if that is not true of Chicago, then please, people, correct us because we think that's what you guys enjoy. So there you go.
If this is a digestive, it's intended for after dinner. An aperitif is intended for before your meal.
Sure.
I don't know, Josh, from what you described, it sounds like something you would give to pledges during hazing period.
Yeah, this is what Leia would make people drink.
I should ask Shelly because she did 4 years of college in Chicago and see what she says about it.
I will be honest that I have drank a lot of things, and I'm very open to drinking different kinds of alcohol and different kinds of native whatever people throw at me. I don't really care. Malort is different. Like absinthe I like, and I like the traditional preparation of an absinthe drink with a sugar cube and a water dripper and that whole thing, among many other types of stuff. Absinthe is special, and I actually like what's the other one? Fernet. Fernet was a very, very strong licorice liqueur, stronger than Jägermeister. It got really popular in Southern California with hipsters. I was fine with that. I don't have any problem with that. But this is different. And I like Sazerac too. Absinthe, Sazerac, I have no problem with any of that stuff. This is different. Malort is totally different from all of that. It truly is. Yeah, ham radio for non-techies in the house. Right on, man. Scott's here. So yeah, there's absolutely a ritual to drinking absinthe. Believe it or not, we could actually do this. We will live react to one of my art house videos that I made when I was a budding YouTuber about absinthe. I made a video about absinthe when I was playing around with video editing. We should do that. We should do that live. I'll pull it up and be ready for it later. But man. Okay. Any other ham radio questions? People that want to talk about ham radio before the wheels go completely off of this train and we start going into complete chaos. Oh, K-Murder's chatting in the chat.
Okay, Josh, I have a question.
Please, go for it.
So I'm thinking about going ahead and buying Ham Radio Deluxe, and I've been using N3FJP.
Okay.
You said it was easy to bring all that in?
Yeah, so you kind of have to have we're just going to cut ties kind of approach to it. What you do in N3FJP is you go to File, Export, and you export the ADI file. Save that to somewhere you can easily get to, and then you just point Ham Radio Deluxe to that file, It will ingest everything in for you, and you're all set.
Okay. One thing I liked about N3FJP was the contest logs that they come out with.
Mm-hmm.
Does the Ham Radio Deluxe have that also?
I think so, but we did not ask Mike on that. Does anybody have any comments on that they'd like to further add?
He mentioned people that use it, so I mean N3FJP, so I would think he doesn't.
I don't know. That I don't know.
And I guess, when you do a contest log, you have to bring it into N3FJP anyway. I guess you just bring it into Ham Radio Deluxe.
Well,
I think you can.
Yeah, so this might be one of those situations where you create a log for the contest you're doing. You create a new log specifically for that contest, because every contest has a different exchange. And by the way, that's one of the favorite things I have with N3FJP is that it has all that squared out for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be a simple way to make a contact, and then that's easy. So maybe it's not. Maybe what you do is that you continue to use N3FJP, and then when you're done, you export all those contacts into Ham Radio Deluxe, and then that's it.
Yeah, you export the ADIF because a lot of the silly contests want that Cabrillo format.
Right.
And I don't know, Scott he keeps up with all of that. It's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, that might be an interesting question for Mike, and maybe you have to take that offline.
Yeah, one of the other things is with N3FJP, and I wanted to ask Mike this, like, if I were to set up like 5 or 6 different computers with HRD, could I point all of those to a single instance of SQLite? Because actually that is what N3FJP does, which is why, like when we're running field day, for instance, we'll run N3FJP on all of our stations, and then it creates a single log against a single database. So it makes logging from multiple stations very, very easy.
Yes, that is true. It does make that very easy. So I mean that's kind of the difficulty with some of this stuff. Like if you're talking about a contest setup, particularly for like field day where you have multiple operators, I don't know that Ham Radio Deluxe would even say that they even compete in that market. I don't know. It would seem difficult for me that they would. I don't know that they can, because we didn't talk about it. So I don't want to try and say they do or don't, kind of thing. We'll bring Mike back. We'll get Lindy on the chat again. Lindy was doing great. Lindy was trying to answer you, Don, and other people. I thought that was cool.
Okay, thanks. By the way, I just made Luxembourg and South Africa on 30 meters FT8.
Luxembourg and South Africa. Good for you. Where are you located? Where are you at?
Las Cruces, New Mexico. We've talked before.
Las Cruces, the land of magic, or what is it? Oh, it's New Mexico, land of magic?
Land of enchantment.
Enchantment, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
And Trinity Glass.
And Carlsbad Caverns.
Carlsbad Caverns is worth the trip, to be honest. It's God, really freaking cool.
Yeah, if you've never seen the bats come out of that cave at night, oh my God.
All right, so let's see. Do we have who do we got still in here? KMRD, is he gone? K-Murder's gone. He's into his he's enjoying having a good time. Scott, I'll let you go in a second. I'm gonna play this old ass video. So let this is my video, so you can't content strike me.
Are you depressed? Are you feeling ennui with slight angst and melancholy? Do you have writer's block? Do you desire to be more interesting to women without having to cut your ear off? Then there's only one recommendation, and that's absinthe. Why don't you get a glass now? Yes, absinthe needs to be cold, served ice cold.
I don't know what's happening
over
with the video.
Cracked, hand-broken ice to be preferred. It's time to let the green fairy out. Absinthe's not smooth. It's harsh as hell. And if you don't mix it with water, oh boy, you're in for a licorice treat. But with a sugar cube right over the top of this glass and a little drip of water, you'll transform that transparent green fairy.
Hey, Josh, do you need an internet connection to do stuff on
into an opaque beauty, ready for your consumption. Well, alright then. Looks like you're ready to take a journey. Here's mud in your eye. The world's just more colorful with absinthe, you see? So don't hold back. Open up a bottle of the Green Fairy and experience one for yourself.
Be ever vigilant against the delirium tremens.
And paid for by the Absinthe Conservancy Board. Absinthe will not make you see things. You'll just get really drunk. Give it to chicks who like Jaeger. You'll really have a good evening.
That's so bad. So that was like I thought this would be really like a pop-in video at the time. 848 views today on that video.
And this view is one of them.
That was it. This is I'm literally bolstering my own views on that one. All right. So what was the question in the chat? Go back and then we'll go to Scott. Say hi.
No problem. No problem, Josh. The question was, the HRD software, does the login still work if you don't have internet connection, like if you're out in the field?
I think the answer is yes. I believe that is yes. Because if you think about it, that's all it's doing is it's just logging for you, or controlling your radio or doing whatever. So yes, let's go with yes. We didn't dip fully into the Pota thing. We were talking about chasing Potas, but not like going portable. By the way, I had a ton of questions that we didn't ultimately get to just because of the the realities of the live stream having some of the difficulties we had. So we'll have Mike back. I think we'll do that again in the future. Maybe in a couple months from now, we are going to be in a situation probably where the coupon will expire, 25% off of the coupon. For all of the updates they do for a year, and support I think is pretty good. And then wherever you last downloaded the updates and locked them in for that year, you have all those features, and that's it. You paid for it. I think their model for content updates is great. I really do like that. So, all right, Scott, what's going on? Ham radio for non-techies. Let's go to the YouTubers. I know Mike had to bail out there, but he's having fun with the apparently a high demographic of ladies that he's hanging out with tonight, related to ham radio. So good for Mike. What's going on, Scott?
Oh, not a whole lot. I really enjoyed the show tonight. I was actually been curious about Ham Radio Deluxe for quite a while. On a separate note, I think malort is something you bring to a party when you want to unfriend people in person. And
yes.
But yeah, I'm just enjoying the chat and just kind of listening to what's going on here and there, and researching some stuff for some antenna ideas. I might want to hit you up later on during the week or something about an idea that I've got. But other than that, just same old.
Right on. Cool, man. Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you hanging out. So let's make sure we get all the questions answered. So if there's anybody with ham radio questions, please fire them off. Let's make sure you get your answer. Anybody in there? You've been waiting. Go for it.
Yeah, this is Norm KC9CSC. I have a question.
Yeah, go for it, Norm.
All right, so I'm posting a...
Oh, we lost you. Hold on to that button, bud. You got it.
I'm posting a picture in the chat. And... going.
Felix, I have an answer for you. Just hang tight. We'll get to it. Go ahead, Norm.
Yeah, so I'm posting a picture in the chat, but I don't know if it is going.
You might be posting in the wrong chat. We're in the live stream chat. Hashtag live-stream.
Yeah, that's what I'm posting.
Not the one that's right off the live stream / after chat, the voice channel, not that chat.
That's gone, Don. Don't worry about that.
No, I still see it.
Yeah, that's because you're an admin.
No, I'm not. I'm an admin on YouTube, not here.
Okay, here it goes.
Oh, okay.
So
we got it.
I recently acquired 2 Hamco keys.
Wow, look at those.
Got these off of eBay. Buy it now for $45. I was very excited.
Okay.
So these were built in Eureka, California, between 1978 and 1981, 82, somewhere around there. And then they were bought out by Vibroplex, who made these triangular brass racers, and then they evolved into the square brass racers you see now on the Vibroplex website.
And benchers. Yeah.
So anyways, so the brass is very easy to clean up.
Okay.
But these black levers, the L levers that the finger pieces are attached to, I was looking closely at them, and they were very rusted. And looking very closely, I realized they were cold blued.
Oh, okay.
They're not painted. So that explains the rust.
Cold blue bare metal, yeah, basically. Very little
Yeah.
protection with cold bluing if you're not maintaining them. Yeah.
So,
As somebody who knows firearms, yes, we can talk about this. So yeah, go ahead.
That's why I came here.
Yeah. So you're trying to get the rust off of them?
Nope. 1 second. I'm going to post another picture.
Okay. I was going to say, because there's a lot of ways we can go with this. And I can actually point you to a video that was really, really good for removing rust from things. I found the video fascinating.
I bet those paddles are actually made out of Bakelite too.
You think they're plastic? You think they're Bakelite?
No, Bakelite. Yeah, Bakelite.
I would put Bakelite closer to plastic than metal.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, because you look at that one that's broken, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the paddle arms are, but I think he's talking about the stays that connect to the terminals.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can't be Bakelite. That's got to be something conductive.
No, the actual, like, the part you put your finger on.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this is a cleaned one. This is
one I just finished up.
That's really nice, man. So far that brass is looking shiny.
The brass looks awesome.
Yeah.
But I got some super blue.
Mm-hmm.
What I did is I put the paddle arms, the hardened steel L part that was rusted, and some iron out. Did a quick bath. Took the old cold blue off, took all the rust off, cleaned it with steel wool, denatured alcohol.
Wow.
Applied the super blue with some cotton swabs. Came out streaky as heck. So I was wondering, if I try this again, I can take the cold blue off pretty easily.
Okay.
Can I dip these pieces, or is there any good tips for cold bluing?
Well, so I'm guessing that they didn't cold blue it. I'm guessing that it's blued. It's blued iron, or whatever it's made of, but they didn't cold blue it. They probably did something where it's a bake-on process, or something with some better adhesion, where you're not going to get that that scoring or the lines on there. Have you tried just taking it the way it is and put it in like an oven at like 400 degrees and let it sit for like an hour?
No, I haven't. What I did was I just followed directions on the bottle, got a cotton swab, swabbed it on 30 seconds, washed it off, some steel wool, repeated the process.
Yeah.
The
problem, and I'm not saying that cold bluing depends on heat cycles, but generally the heat cycles will help the bluing bake a bit, I guess, if you're cycling the firearm generally. You're never cycling a firearm on a key. It's not running high heat. So you might be okay just hitting it with like 400 degrees for like, I don't know, start with like 15 minutes and see if there's any change. See if there's anything that like gives you an interesting softening or relative bluing on it.
Comment?
By the way, Jay Marshall in the chat saying he likes Brownell's cold bluing compound, Oxo Blue. Also, make sure you remove the oil from the steel wool before buffing with it. So go ahead, comment.
The only thing I'd be concerned about is that the actual contact on the end is silver.
I don't think he's touching it.
No, that's what I mean. But you don't want to sort of heat that up too much either, because you might unsolder it. Because it's probably soldered on it. My guess. I don't know. I've never actually seen one.
Yeah, good.
If it's soldered on, obviously you don't want to heat that up too much, because it'll just drop off, and you'll never see the damn thing again.
That's true too.
Which would be unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, good point. It is kind of press fit in there, but yeah, it could be soldered also. Yeah, this is the first time I just ever messed with bluing, so it looks okay from a distance here, but looking real closely, I just wanted that black to look really nice on those L pieces.
I mean, unless you're willing to break it all apart and go through like an electrolysis process or some kind of anodizing process, I don't know that you're going to do much better than that, to be honest, right? You can try the Brownell's cold bluing, the compound they have, Oxo Blue, but I don't have experience with it.
Even without all of this, I mean the before and after that. Wow, that's a great change.
Yeah, it does look really good. You've done a good job, I think. So kudos on that, on what you've done so far. I think that. I guess maybe I'm not seeing the criticism point that you have for your own work. Maybe we're our own best critics at the end of the day. I can't see the streaking on the black pieces. Maybe because we don't have enough lighting, or the angle of the picture is such that I can't really get a good shot at it. But it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks fine. It's just I was just being super critic, and I know there's a lot of people that mess around with bluing around here, so I was just trying to get some helpful hints for the second key.
Yeah, I mean, can you get us closer on the L pieces and show us the streaky nature that you're concerned about, because I don't see it. I guess.
Okay, I'll check it in chat. Let me go grab my phone and
Yeah,
everything.
somebody is saying Cerritos is an option. With Cerritos, though, I think he'd have to remove the silver touch point, and then he'd still have to hog it out to bare metal to inlay the silver back in. Okay, so Graham Helton, and I think there was some, it might be the same person on the Discord, asked, what is the best way to get over mic fright? Good question. So let me diagnose is the wrong term, but let me break down what mic fright is for those that don't know. Mic fright is the either perception or real dread of picking up a microphone and talking. And for some people, it's all based in their head on what could happen. They're coming up with hypothetical scenarios on who will reply to them on the radio and what they'll tell them. And that gives them this concern that they're going to realize that vision that they have in their head. For some people, mic fright is reinforced by jerks that they've dealt with on the radio. And that is a real thing. So here are generally my tactics for battling mic fright. At least until you get to the point of being comfortable that you just don't really care, which is where I'm at most times. That's also a byproduct of why I do live streams and all these other things, is that I just don't really care what other people think. So when you're starting out in ham radio, generally you can make a couple of contacts. I mean, you can make many contacts this way, I guess, if you want, where you just say, hey, I'm looking for a radio check. I want a radio check. I'm out here on this repeater. I want to know how I sound. And you just make your call, say KI6NAZ. Don't use my call sign. Use your call sign. KI6NAZ, I'm looking for a radio check. And so somebody comes back and goes, yep, it's working. Okay, great. What's the signal quality? How do I sound? Yeah, you sound okay. Maybe you're a little peaky, blah, blah, blah. You don't even really have to pay attention at this point. You're like, okay, I'm talking to you on and then insert your radio. If you're a Baofeng user, you might want to just say you're using a Japanese radio. That's okay saying that. I'm using a Yaesu FT60. And talk about like just what's happening. Like I'm using a stock antenna. I'm using ... I'm standing in my front yard and just trying to make my signal better. Could you recommend anything that I could do to make my signal better? And they're like, yeah, you can, drive up to, make out point and make contacts that way. And you'll get into the repeater a lot better. And you can say, okay, well, where is the repeater? Oh, the repeater is at the Tajon Pass, right? That's where the repeater's at. It's at the high point of the summit. Okay, great. Do you have any nets or anything like that? And they're like, oh yeah, we do nets at blah blah blah. So what have I done this whole time? I've just talked about things, real things, with real yes or no, like actual questions. The worst, I think, where people get into trouble with mic fright is if they go into the world of just talking with people. If they're just hanging out, having a chat. People aren't ready for that. I think there are people who aren't ready for that. So generally, with mic fright, the way you handle it is you just keep it very based on a specific answer and a specific way to talk to people. I am asking you what the weather is. I am asking you how I sound. I am talking to you on this radio using this microphone. How do I sound? And then it removes all the ambiguity out of it. It's no longer this ad hoc thing where we're ad-libbing our way through a contact. It is a very finite way of approaching a discussion. And you can go so far as to scripting it to a certain point. I have talked about this on quite a few videos, and I talked about this on the podcast with my wife. Scott, Ham Radio for Non-Techies, has made a video on it. There's a lot of different ways to approach it. Part of the problem is that I am probably not the best person to answer this question because I don't care. I've gone so far away from caring about any of this stuff. I just don't let it bother me. I don't let things get in the way of the thing I want to enjoy. And if you think that this is in the way of you enjoying something, then you just got to figure out how to surmount it. Or maybe just tell yourself, hey, I just don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm going to ask my questions. I hope I get help. And if I don't, you've always got this Discord, and you've always got HF Radio, and you've always got other places that you can get the answers for. So anybody else want to answer the question on mic fright? Let's go to Scott first since you made a video. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I was just going to, add on to what you were saying, but in my video, I addressed a couple things like, start off by mic fright's a real thing. I had it when I first got into ham radio, and I've since then massively gotten over it. Mm-hmm. But you just have to really just jump into it and just kind of, incorporate speaking. I mean, you're in radio. You got to speak to use radio, obviously. It's not a visual thing. It's a vocal thing. Mm-hmm. If you got a friend of yours that is also a ham and you guys are on a 2-meter radio, practice talking to them, or just get on your local repeater. Pardon me?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Get on your local repeater and just say, hey, this isn't, give out your call sign. Can I get a signal report? And that can actually spark up a conversation with somebody, because most likely you're going to get a ham that's going to give you a signal report on how you sound. And they go, hey, who are you? Or, hey, what's going on? And you start talking to them, and it will naturally go away. But you just have to take that initial jump. That's the hardest part. And it is difficult. I know for some people it's more difficult than others, but you will get over it. You will conquer it, and you'll end up, once you get past it, you're unstoppable at that point. And you're just gonna have fun with radio. And that's really all I wanted to add. Just find what's comfortable for you, that's gonna work for you, and I think that's the best way to.
Drop the link to your video, Scott. I think you probably go into greater detail than I do, because straight up, I am literally, I'll be honest, I'm a bad person to be the one to talk about this, because I'm a total extrovert, and I've also completely mastered the ideas that anybody who's criticizing me really doesn't matter in my life. All the criticism I get rolls off of me because they have no impact in my life. They are not a part of my life. I'm not a part of their life, so I can do nothing to them, nor do I want to. So if you don't feel the way I do, then it's really hard for me to tell you, like, hey, get on my level. It's not fair for me to say that, I guess. So I'm going to drop this in the YouTube chat. You guys go look at Scott's video, because I think that's probably a better approach.
Yes, one of the ways I've kind of used to help get some people past it is to conduct a conversation almost like an interview, and you ask questions that can't be answered with just a yes or no, that require some kind of narrative, and you start asking them about themselves, and that starts to open them up.
And I know this sounds kind of silly, but one of the things that helped me get over it was just simply getting on and talking radio. Because generally the guy on the other end, he's got a radio, you've got a radio. And there's a joke, I think, where it says, ham radio is a hobby about, or basically a hobby
where we talk about our hobby, using our hobby.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
No, you're right. And if you remove the relativity out of it, and it just becomes completely objective discussion, then that's easy, because you know the radio you're talking on, and then you ask them about the radio they're talking on, and they come back and tell you all about it. It's like, okay, yeah, there's your contact. That's it. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every single ham I've ever run into would love to talk to you about what antenna they're using, what radio they're on, how they got it set up. So that can bring on a nice conversation that can allow you to interject and then share what you've got. If all you have is a little diamond antenna and a little HT, who cares? You
made it.
Yeah. You're talking to somebody. You're getting in that conversation. You're talking about radio.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Not everybody is Molson.
I think for me, I think the best thing is I think the biggest hindrance is just knowing the lingo. It's always about what am I going to say? And I think the best thing is if you hear someone calling CQ, to listen to what other people are responding and just start there, baby steps. It's the shortest conversation, and the guy doesn't really care. He just wants that contact. So VA3SDO 59, thank you, 73, short and simple. And you listen and you sort of prepare for it. And then you start venturing out from there. You take baby steps. Conversations, I know, like what do you say? You don't want to sound like a retard because you don't say the proper words. Sorry for using that term. But, you take steps. The shortest conversations are the easiest ones. And when people are calling CQ, they are not really caring. They just want it over with and fast. And no one knows what you look like. Nobody's going to remember you in 5 seconds. And you just got to remember that.
Yeah, I think though the difficulty is if it's HF, that's true. Like you can bust out a bunch of contacts and just chase Potas and sodas and all that. But I think for a lot of technicians here in the States and even in Canada, what's the basic? Is it basic? Basic is the Canadian frequency. Lowest level. If you get basic with honors, then you get to HF. But let's just say you're just straight basic. So if you're straight basic, then you're limited to like repeaters, and they're not on contest. They're not contesting. And technicians in the States are like this too. So that's your issue, is that they're not trying to just have these brief, specific conversations. They're doing this repeater game. It's the repeater rag chew, right? And for a lot of people,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I know you did. I know. I picked that up just from your comment. For a lot of folks, they don't want to do the repeater rag chew, and you know what? That's okay. And so I would tell people, it's like, you could just upgrade to HF and get into general, or get your basic with honors, or get onto the next level, and then just move on from that, because that's really not what ham radio is. It's not being on a repeater and rag chewing with people. That's not what our hobby's fundamentally about at all.
I'll tell you what, the first time I freaked out was after I got my general and I called CQ on 20 meters for the very first time, not knowing what I was doing. I was like, CQ 20, CQ 20. This is KI5MPL calling CQ on 20 meters. Anybody out there? And a guy in Australia picked me up. My very first HF contact was a DX contact.
That's crazy.
Australia.
That's awesome.
And it was way cool. I freaked out about it. But I was like, hey, this is cool. And he was cool. We talked. We just had a quick little discussion. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you located? I told him where I was. Told him where he was. Not that I couldn't tell from the accent. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. And I ended up doing it again. I just ask for like a signal report, just kind of get somebody out there to respond to me. And somebody else picked me up out of like Chicago or something like that. And I had a good little talk with them for like 10 or 15 minutes. So it gets easier as you do it, but you have to implement it. You have to take the action to get it to happen. And now I don't have any problem at all going out to a park and, doing CQ Pota and getting a pile up.
So
yeah.
Go ahead, Don.
Well, the only thing I was gonna add to what Scott was saying, I think to some degree, going out to something like the Pota, and by the way, one of the guys asking the question is a 2E0. So he's got HF privileges. And I would say go out and work a Pota, because when you're doing that, your conversation basically is a signal report and where they're located. So you're not giving a whole lot of information. And the only thing you're doing is saying CQ Pota and giving your park number. So the exchange, what you're going to say is kind of already scripted. And if that makes it easy for you, go for it.
The other thing is sometimes it's easier to break into it. Like I remember my first conversation was on 80 meters, and I just
that was your first conversation. Okay, that's probably an exception to the rule, but please continue.
But if other people are having a conversation, even on a repeater, I would just say like contact and just say, hey guys, I wanted to say hi, VA3SDO here, and then they'll start the conversation. Just answer briefly, like you don't
tell us about your gout. Molson, tell us about your gout.
No, but when you're the center, like if there's only two people in the conversation, there's a lot of pressure on you. When there's other people there, you can sort of just be there, but it's not focused on you.
Right.
Just little hints on like just being in the shadows and participating slowly.
Well, and one other thing that I thought about, because I mentioned this the other day, Larry was saying, what's an important thing, for a ham radio operator to learn. And this was something I was taught like years ago. And I think it holds true, especially like for mic fright. Get on the bands and listen to what other people are doing. Just listen. And see what other people, how other people conduct themselves and whatever. And you'll pick it up. You'll pick that part of it up. I get that there's still like, but I've got to push that mic key and now I've got to do it. But if you listen to other people doing it, you'll kind of get the hang of what's going on. And I bet you'll find, and I do this all the time, a hell of a lot of those guys that are out there talking are talking about their radios.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, another thing, Don, remember we went out to Huntsville to go meet up with Mike?
Mm-hmm.
And we had Evan there who had never done a Pota before.
Yeah.
And we got him on there and he was freaking out. We sat there with him. He had a, kind of like a support group, like, hey, you can do this. He got on there and all of a sudden he started making contacts and he got a pile up within 30 seconds. He was a pro.
Yeah.
Right.
He nailed it. He just went.
Yeah. We had a guy that we went with Jason, and I don't remember if you were there, Scott, but we were up at Lake Ray Hubbard, and he and his dad were out there, and he didn't even have his license, and we got him on the air, and we sat with him, and he worked a bunch of contacts, and then I think the next time we were talking about him, he had gotten his general license.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Getting out with and Felix said it in chat just a minute ago. He's going to go back out to Winter Field Day. So yeah, these are great ways to get that.
I want everybody to make sure we're focusing on the beginner aspect of ham radio. Pota, yes, you can Pota VHF, but it's incredibly difficult. You'll be better off trying to do SOTA if you're going to try and do something that's more of a ham radio event or activity. But if you're just talking like being a technician, brand new technician, what's likely where you're going to start your ham radio journey? It's on a repeater, right?
10 meters.
No,
oh,
well,
sorry.
Actually, Don, I have a video coming up on that. That is thanks to. I'll get back to that. I don't want to lose my train of thought. But yes, Don, yes, you're correct, because we got a hot 4 years of intense, great 10-meter contacts coming up. But most technicians, what do they do with their license? They get on a repeater. They look for a local repeater. And what is a repeater? It's just a group chat. It's a party line, right? So make it like as scripted is scripted is the wrong term, but make it based off of like actual things you know. Like how's your weather? My weather is this. I'm using this radio. How does it sound? Do you know if I could improve upon this sound? You know, that kind of stuff. Make it like concrete actuals. I think we've already hit that, but that's kind of my point. Now, going back to Don's point, to transition slightly, John Amadeo on the podcast has been talking about 10-meter only radios. And is 10-meter only radios for the next 4 years the next big gateway drug for technicians? And I think I agree with him. They're kind of like the Baofeng of HF. And I have a video coming up talking about HF only 10-meter radios and their cost and effectivity.
Oh, good. Because
they're not bad. They're not bad.
Yeah, the one. So and this goes way back, but I had bought, and I still actually I've got it right here. I've got the HTX 10 or HT. Yeah, I think it's an HTX 10, and which was the Radio Shack 10-meter only radio. But the thing that I see on some of the 10-meter radios that are available now is they don't support all mode. They're FM or AM only, and I'm like, no, that's not going to work for a tech. So all I would say is be careful if you get a 10-meter only. Make sure it does SSB at least.
Yeah, so I'll just spoiler alert everybody. It was already on the table. In fact, that's the radio you can see right underneath that plastic bag. It's an Anytone 6666 for all the Ray Comfort people that might still be around. I don't know, but yeah, that radio does single sideband, and I was working it earlier on 10 meters. Works fine. It's not a good radio. It's not super convenient, but if you compare the startup cost against that for buying a G90, which for some people, like, they're just unwilling to take that extra $200 step into it, it's like, okay, well, that's an option. And so I will be talking about it hopefully soon. I will take this opportunity, since there's a break in the action a little bit here. I have to run to the restroom, so let's keep it going. We still got a good number of people here. I'm probably good for another 45 minutes or so. So I'm going to run an ad on the Twitch side of the house. Thanks everybody for watching, and you guys keep it going, keep chatting. I'm here. I'll be back in a second.
Hey Norm, do you ever get that picture uploaded?
Norm apparently didn't hear you.
Yeah, Daniel, it's on the live stream. when I hear you on here, Daniel, I feel like you're cheating on the Clubhouse.
Well, hey, no.
Yeah.
Do you ever try? If you go to the auto parts store, it's called Color. They're these pens, touch-up pens for cars, and on one end has like a fine point, the other end has like a brush.
Yeah. You think I should just try painting them?
Well, you could try that. Otherwise, I don't know.
Well, that's what the Doobie pen does, right?
What's that?
That's what the pen you're talking about does. That's just paint.
Yeah, but you have a good open time, so it should blend well. Otherwise, you can go to eastwood.com and buy a little powder coating kit you can do in your oven.
Oh, let me check that out. Thanks.
Yeah, they have these little bottles, and they have a kit you can do for your oven at home to powder coat. Now, I don't know, like you guys were talking about before, having to remove parts, but you just probably have to mask it and then do it that way. I don't know. Speaking of the Clubhouse, you see who we have on this week?
Yeah, some kind of dude with a guitar. That's all I know.
Yeah, he's Max Car. He has a YouTube channel, and he's an amazing guitar player, and he just became a ham. So Joe Brad saw one of his videos about him talking about amateur radio, just getting into it. So we're like, heck, let's get him on. So yeah, he's coming on the show.
Cool.
He's supposed to do our intro countdown music, so we'll see.
So no more Shane?
Oh, Shane will upload it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's been the music selecting, right? Or selector.
Oh, we'll let somebody send one in. We had that before, didn't we?
What's that? Where people were sending in music? I didn't think so, but maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Aussie Ham Radio, Ben, he from Australia. He played a song, recorded a song, and we used it for a countdown.
Oh, okay. It seems like to me it's different every week, and I think that's kind of cool. And I know T.O.'s like done different countdown stuff, and I think he's dropped most of it. He had one that I thought was really neat, but he apparently doesn't use it anymore, or at least not that I've heard.
Well, nothing like a good rock and roll, a little bit of rock and roll music for a countdown. I'm still waiting for Ham Radio for Non-Techies to send us in a custom intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still waiting for yours.
What, a Molson intro? Wouldn't that just be somebody standing there in a black shirt?
Yeah, well, he has a guitar in the background. He must plonk a tune out or two, maybe.
Daniel's actually a very good guitar player. He just tries to hide it.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard.
Don't share my secrets there, Norm.
Yeah, I mean that's what they said. That I was watching one when they managed to say that they managed to squeeze out of you that you were half decent on a guitar.
Yeah, my boss is real good on the guitar, but that is not. He does not do the kind of music that. He doesn't do rock and roll at all. He thinks that's silly. So he only does classical.
And your boss be very good on a sitar, Don?
Not really. No. He's Vietnamese, not Indian.
Oh, right. Okay.
Feed the dog.
You got a live stream feeding the dog, man.
All right. I'm back.
Yeah, get the dog fed, man.
I tell the kids, man. I try and I feed the dog like constantly, that and the cats and everything else, and it's like I feed the kids, like just every once in a while, feed the dogs, like during the live stream. Just please take it from me. Take the responsibility for a second. Can't kill you.
Stuff rolls downhill, Josh, not up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right, because I'm at the bottom, I think, of the pyramid.
Yeah, just
That's
tell
about
them
right. I think.
don't. Just tell them if they don't feed the dog, you're going to have them cleaning out the litter box.
That cat's outside.
Oh.
And the dog mostly goes outside, although the dog sometimes get a little antsy in the pantsy because they don't open the door for the dog.
Oops.
Well, my dogs have the worst gas right now. It's disgusting. And the worst part is it's not what we feed them, it's what they find around. They go out, they eat after the chickens.
Oh yeah.
And,
that's
man.
not good. That's not good.
No. And the worst is my bigger dog, he'll find a mouse or something like that and he'll start playing with it. He'll throw it in the air, he'll catch it, he'll throw it in the air, catch it, then he'll eat it. And it's like, oh, and then this thing wants to lick our face and it's like, get away from me.
Yeah,
if you have a cat, you got to hide the litter box from them.
Yeah, that's right. Dogs will go after it.
No, our cat is outdoors now, so probably a different, similar problem, but it's an outside problem.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to see it.
Yeah. Well, I still have a dog that rolls in after whatever they may be doing outdoors and be like, "Hey, what's up? Let me lick your face." And they're like, "No, I'm good."
So my wife the other day, she calls me. She went to the backyard and she said, "You got to come out here now." So I went out and I'm like, "What's up?" She goes, "There's a rat in the barn." She goes, "I saw a rat in the barn." And I'm like, "Okay." So she's like, "It's huge." I'm like, "Okay." So I tell my youngest son, I said, "Go get your BB gun, your airsoft gun there, you know." Anyways, so we set up and we put a little bait in front. Nope. And I saw it run across, but of course it never stops to take the bait. Anyway, so we've been going out every night faithfully, religiously, just sitting there waiting to see it because we just want to shoot this thing. Anyway, so that's our nightly activity. So if I don't show up to the clubhouse on Tuesday, it's because I'm outside in the barn waiting to shoot a rat. But these things are, and it's so funny. I live in the country; they're huge.
Yeah.
I thought New York City was the only one with huge rats.
Have you seen?
No.
Have you seen the really cool videos that like the airgun channels in the UK where they do like they do night vision cameras with air rifles? So they're shooting like pellets, and they just go after rats like through the entire video. It's really cool, really good stuff.
There's this one I've been sub to for a long time. It's like Novrich or something like that. This guy has his own line of airsoft. He's probably the biggest airsoft YouTuber. Anyways, this guy, all he does.
Oh,
is
it's Ted's Holdover. Ted's Holdover is the biggest YouTube airgun person.
Hold on, let me see.
Ed Gun Lashy, YouTube channel. They sit there and whack squirrels all the time.
Ted's
quick question. What is this, what Clubhouse channel are you guys all talking about?
The Ham Radio Clubhouse, of course.
Yeah,
I did not know we had a Clubhouse channel.
Daniel?
Yeah. Well, who's this Ted guy? Sorry. Yes, Don?
Ted's Holdover. I'll pull him up.
You don't want to talk about your YouTube channel?
Yeah. Ted Holdover is nothing, man. Novrach has 4.7 million subscribers. This guy only has 521,000. Ham
really?
Radio Clubhouse.
Wait,
Yeah,
who?
Ham Radio-
Okay, now I gotta pull.
Hold on. Ham Radio Clubhouse, Tuesday nights, 8:00 Eastern, 7 Central, whatever it is in Europe, I don't know. But we talk about ham radio and everything else under the sun, and I mean everything.
Mm-hmm.
So Ted's Holdover is like a multiple-time champion in competition, air gun, and also a hunter. But what's your channel? What was that guy? I'm gonna subscribe. I love air guns, by the way. I love firearms. I love any kind of gun. I don't care. What's the
November Oscar Victor Romeo India Tango Sierra Charlie Hotel.
That was way too fast. Navarro.
November Oscar Victor. Romeo India Tango Sierra Charlie Hotel.
$4.7 million. Wow.
Yeah, he started.
He's all air gun.
Yeah, and he grew so big that he has his own line of airsoft now and everything.
Holy smokes! Oh, this guy's like super. Okay, he's super like tactical air gun guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need the air.
Oh, it's airsoft. He's not. It's not a pellet gun. It's airsoft.
So I said airsoft.
Oh, okay. Well, those are totally different. Ted's Holdover's a pellet gun guy. He's actually like hunting animals with it. Not airsoft is plastic BBs, right?
Yes,
pretty much.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah.
Okay. No, Ted's holdover is like a real pellet gun, like you can hunt pellet guns. Like I haven't posted the video, but I went to a ham radio ham swap, and it was at in front of an air gun company, a business in Huntington Beach, and he sells a lot of high pressure air pellet rifles that are bullpup designed, and they go all the way up to like 50 caliber. So you can hunt anything with an air gun with a pellet rifle, but it's like a lead pellet. It's a projectile. It's not. Oh, my camera just died. Why? I'll be right back. Hold on. I'm still there audibly, but I have a black screen.
I don't need the air gun. I've got a 15-year-old cat. Just nailed a possum and brought it to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my cats do the same thing. There's no mouse or anything else that gets anywhere near them that they don't kill it.
Yeah, the big shock was the possum. I had a 15-year-old cat nails a half-grown possum and brings it to me.
Yeah,
Hey, Dad, here's dinner for us.
Yeah, that's the big problem. We used to have a Siamese cat, and it would roam the neighborhood, and my mom was working nights, and she never knew when she walked up to the front door what the cat may be presenting today as its latest kill.
It's an offering. The cat loved you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good cat.
Well, this one had found its way into my screened-in porch, and it didn't get much past where it had managed to squeeze through before he had it and had it and brought it to me.
Yeah, my cats would go after squirrels if I'd let them. I really don't even let mine outside.
My outdoor cat George, he fights. Well, used to. He's older now. He used to fight raccoons, which is like Jesus Christ. That's high intensity. A possum doesn't put up a lot of fight. A raccoon, however, they don't want to go down without one.
Do you have a lot of woods and stuff around you, Josh?
No, the city. Oh, dude, we get rats, we get possums, we got a couple of possums that are local to us. That actually, most folks down here, we don't mess with possums because we know that they eat like actual, bad bugs and stuff like that. So possums
they also go after rodents.
Possums are good. Possums are good.
We have them around here too, but
yeah.
The big problem we have are lynxes and coyotes.
Yeah, I don't have lynxes, but we definitely have coyotes.
Yeah, they will kill cats and dogs, and that's why I don't let my cats out.
Straight up, my neighbor across the street, his dog, he had a little miniature greyhound, I think is what they call him, but it's like smaller than a whippet. Like it's a small little pup. And that dog got the coyote hopped over the fence, grabbed the dog, and then booked it out like in its mouth, and then killed it like down the street. The owner was running after it, and we do have a coyote problem here.
Lynxes are nasty too.
Oh yeah,
they have no fear. They walk down the street. You can see them walking in their front yard.
So you'll
endangered species over there, or
coyotes?
No, in lynx.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know about Texas.
Lynx and / bobcat. I don't know which it is, but you can tell because it's got the little stubby tail.
Bobcats are really rare out here. So rarity in a predatory cat is like a relative term, because most predatory cats don't like hang out together, right? So they need to be separated from each other, otherwise they fight. So saying that it's like a rare cat, it's like, well, that's not necessarily true. It's just appropriately distended from other cats, and they kind of maintain, they give each other a wide berth. So when Ben, my oldest, was a baby, Leia had him on like a little, like a blanket or something like that, and he was just hanging out in the backyard. And she was with him, and she got up for like a second and comes back out, and our dog, Charlotte, who's passed away, the Corgi, was just losing her freaking mind and jumping up on the fence and barking. And Leia looks up, and Leia recalls the story as there was somebody's German Shepherd on the fence line. And I was like, a German Shepherd was on the cinder block wall just hanging out? And she's like, yeah, it was a German Shepherd. And I was like, okay, well, what did it look like? She's like, it's mostly gray, and it had a big poofy tail and like poofy. And I was like, are you sure it was a German Shepherd? And she's like, yeah. And Charlotte, oh, that battery's dead too. What the hell is going on? My battery's died. What the hell? So our dog Charlotte is just losing it. Turns out it was a coyote like coming after my son, and our dog Charlotte was basically protecting our son. And I was like, oh my God, Charlotte, you're like the best dog ever. Good job, Charlotte. That was a heartwarming moment, but also very scary that we've got coyotes everywhere in Southern California.
Yeah.
That's why we got our dogs. We have 2 Rhodesian Ridgebacks, and they're pretty trained to keep everything off our yard that doesn't belong here.
I got to grab a battery. I'll be right back. You guys keep going.
Oh God, I saw a video the other day, and it's basically this guy filming outside of his window, and they're just like, I don't know, 30 or 40 feet away from his front door are 2 moose that are going after each other. I mean, full horns, slamming into each other, making all kinds of noises and all kinds of racket. And the whole thing was watch until the end. And so you watch it, and they're just like going after it. And one of them finally punches the other one up, and that other one lands in the back of this guy's pickup truck and just stomps all over it. In the pickup truck, you can see the pickup truck denting. It's horrific.
They're glorious creatures. Like I remember when you go in northern Ontario, you see them on the side of the highway. Sometimes they're just massive. Like they're tall. Like the videos don't do it justice. This is probably mating season. That's when they fight the most. But we have all the different cats, bobcats, fisher cats, lynx, cougars all around here, and that's why the dogs are trained pretty much anything that's not supposed to be here. We have to sort of introduce them to the chickens and the cows. Otherwise, they're going to attack them too. But my dogs killed a deer the other year. They chased it to death. And that's how we wanted the dogs, because it's those animals that come unsurprising. And they're super good with kids. My wife has a home daycare. Super great with kids. But if something comes in the middle of the night and knocks on the door or pulls in the driveway, that's for sure. They're very protective.
Ridgeback, you're saying? Rhodesian Ridgeback?
Yeah.
I live next to the
lions.
I live next to the Cleveland National Forest in California, on the north end of it, and coyotes were a huge problem there. You didn't let cats and dogs outside at all. They'd come and get them. And
we have a lot
here
of
in the Midwest.
here.
Yeah, here in the Midwest, we have red foxes.
We don't have foxes out here.
Yeah, the red fox is like a looks like a small, like a half-grown dog. I mean, it's like a medium-sized dog, but they'll go after pets too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That used to. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, this is years ago, but we would go on family trips, right? And you'd be driving through Texas, and mile after mile, you'd see these barbed wire fences. And on the outside of the fence, they would have these heads hanging of coyotes they'd killed on their property. And supposedly they were doing that to keep other coyotes from coming onto their property. I don't know if it worked, but it was definitely gross.
The more you pressure coyotes, the more they reproduce. So killing them by hunting or not just accelerates their reproduction.
Yeah, I think that also works with wild hogs, which we have a real problem with here. Yeah, T.O. was talking about he lets his pigs, or did, I don't think he's doing any farming anymore, but he used to let his pigs roam wild. Well, you don't do that here in Texas, because if you put domestic pigs out and just let them run, the wild hogs will mate with them. and you get some really, really nasty results out of that. So the farmers here fence them and make sure that none of the wild hogs get anywhere near them.
Yeah, actually, I would almost rather deal with a couple of coyotes than a couple of wild hogs. Depending on the breed of wild hog, those are no joke. They will wreck. They will mess you up. I would be fully armed if I was in a situation where I had to deal with hogs. I don't want to mess with that.
Well, coyotes are surprisingly small. Like they're not.
Yeah, they're not big dogs.
No,
or
so
dog
like,
is the wrong term, but you know,
if you have a large breed dog, they probably won't come
No.
around. But the thing is with coyotes is that they have an amazing ability to make it sound like there's more than there are. The way that they howl, the way it echoes is done strategically to make it seem like there's a bigger pack than what there is. And around here, you go out at nighttime, you hear them all over the place, but it sounds like there's 10 of them, but there's only maybe 2 of them. It's amazing to just listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that I've seen around here that, I mean, I've only seen the pictures, but, you know, relatively they seem like fairly large dogs, but.
And they're not. A wolf, on the other hand.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
wolves are dwarf them. I know that.
Yeah, coyotes are like actually really skinny little things, believe it or not.
They're, at least here in Mississippi, they're about the size of like a beagle. Like a big beagle is kind of about where a coyote sits on the size scale. Like, you know, a medium range dog.
Yeah. Sorry, the ones we have around here I know are about 3 feet. I mean, so their backs are about 3 feet high. So I've seen them. That I have seen. They're
3
pretty
feet is
big.
pretty big.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty big.
Okay.
That's how they hop over fences and stuff. Because most of the fences we have here are privacy 8-foot fences, and they can hop them.
Well, the average height I'm just looking at is 58 centimeters to 66, so just about 2 feet to the shoulder, and up to 21 kilograms. So times 2.2, 42 plus 0.2.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, something like that. It's like 50 pounds, something like that. So
even 50 pounds seems a little big for a coyote. Well, out here.
That's after it eats someone's dog.
Right. A when it's got a Shih Tzu in its belly, then it's then it hits the 50.
Yeah, one of the favorite weapons to go after them with is a 12-gauge shotgun with either slugs or buckshot.
Both of those will penetrate that animal completely. Holy, that's buckshot. A number 4 at best would be enough for a coyote. Number 4 buck is probably already fully penetrating. Number 4 buck is like commensurate to a 9mm. That's great. I would just shoot it with. I would literally shoot it with a 22 pellet gun. That's good enough.
The best thing about number 4 buck is you get about 28.
Exactly.
9.
Yeah, not 28, but yeah, it's a lot. Double-aught buck is
number 4 buck will kill a person.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Double-aught buck.
I live in the UK. We don't have any of that crap.
You do have it. It's just not. It's only the criminals that have it.
No, I mean all the wild animals. We literally don't have anything. I mean, other than foxes, which
you got badgers and shit.
Yeah, but they don't really like humans, so they leave us alone. You know. I mean, I live in the countryside. I you know, the nearest sort of, you know, I'm surrounded by field. I never see anything.
Yeah, but that's because they're all on the king's land. You're not allowed to go.
Oh, that's it.
Right?
That's it.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we're not allowed to hunt on there. It's all the blokes with the big sticks and the chucking arrows at you.
That's where the hearts are. All the heart of the forest is. They say where you go to get your deer, but you can't because it's the king's deer.
And Scott, wild hog is nasty.
Yeah,
if you get them under 100 pounds, they're fine.
Yeah, you know what they do here, by the way, is because this friend of mine does it, and he makes quite a bit of money in it. They have these big, huge round traps, and I don't know. There's a
they drop. Yeah. They're cool.
They drop and they spin down and they capture. And what they're after are not the adults; they're after the little piglets.
Suckling
pigs. Yeah. They'll shoot the while they're in the cage. They'll just shoot all the big ones and go in and take the little ones, and they give them to farms to raise.
Yeah.
And they're fed different stuff. And when they're fed, in those farm situations, they grow up to be quite tasty animals. But out in the wild, they eat crap that just, their meat is horrible.
Well, that's a lot to do with how you process them too.
I don't know. I think Scott's saying that they'll eat a wild hog. They don't care about that. No, I mean, I've had wild hog before. It doesn't taste horrible. There's a
depends
gamey.
on where you had it.
And what they eat. Of course, their diet is important. I mean, if they're eating out of the dump, yeah, sure. I don't want any of that. But
yeah,
there's a ton of wild hogs that aren't eating that kind of stuff. They're eating off of nature, berries and all kinds of other crap that is natural. Then they're fine. They're good eats.
It's the age that counts. If you harvest a pig or a hog too old, it's not that good. You want to be about a year and a half.
Yeah, then you're just eat.
I feel like braising and a long barbecue seems like a solution to a lot of problems. I don't know. I could be wrong.
And the thing is, when you go and eat them at a restaurant or something like that, they are not a wild hog that somebody shot, in the backyard.
Right.
And those are the ones I'm talking about that taste nasty. A friend of mine brought it in to work one time, and oh my God, they're horrible.
Yeah, but Don, how processed it, and how did they do it? Because
he has guys that process deers all the time. No, these are professional guys that professionally prepare meats from all kinds of wild animals. So no, these are pros. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the like Daniel said. It had to do with the age of the pig, because there's so many of them out here that live a long time because they're very smart and they're very hard to get.
They are smart. Yeah.
I encountered wild boar a couple of times when I was living in Europe, and you wanted to give them some birth. You didn't want to give them cause to come after you.
Well, it's crazy.
They can run like the wind.
So, that's exactly the point. Where they run like the wind at you aggressively, that's when you have to worry. And so let's keep in mind, boar is a pervasive species in the United States, particularly the Southwest. We got them all through Texas, all through California, and all the states in between. And they will destroy crop, they'll destroy the habitat, they'll wreck everything. And what's crazy is because the hunting scene for wild boar has gone through the roof, people are now like bringing in like Russian boar and crazy stuff where they are huge boar that are, again, pervasive species that shouldn't be here. That to get a hunting ticket for a boar is nothing. It's free. Anybody could go basically get a boar ticket anytime they want and hunt a boar at any time, because they should not be here.
Yeah, there's no ticket needed here. By the way, there is an HRD tech question in the chat.
Oh, please. Yeah, we should probably go back to ham radio questions here for a second. Okay, so I'll do the best I can. So it was on YouTube. This question came over, and thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, so the question is HRD question. Last time I used HRD was during the last sun cycle. Wow, that was a while ago. What do I need to do the old school logbooks so it will show in the mapper? I don't know that you have to do anything other than so if your log is intact from the last time you're using HRD, I think you just upgrade to the new system. And he says I'm in the current HRD release. Your logbook should just carry over. If not, you should contact support and ask them. This would probably be a better answer for Mike, and he's not here now. Unfortunately, he's already left. But you shouldn't have a problem. It should just work. If it's working in the old version of HRD and you upgrade to the new one, it should have just pulled it over. I think so. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so N0FJP says need to import to the new F6.0. So you could take your old version of Ham Radio Deluxe and export out your log, export it into a file, and then open up the new version of Ham Radio Deluxe and import that in. Try that. You can try that, but I would probably contact the support just so that you get it sorted out in a way that's clean, in the way they would recommend you do it. Yeah, so there you go. All right.
I have a question. I do have a question once that's taken care of.
Yeah. Let's take some ham radio questions. Let's take a pause from hot hog talk.
After the
Only
wild
hogs.
Only hogs.
Only hogs.
The ones I saw were huge, and bigger than wild hogs. Anyway, I just had a Kenwood TK 981, 900 megahertz rig that was formerly either government or commercial use, and I'm going to convert it to 900 megahertz ham bands. I'm wondering if anyone here on this chat has actually done that, and how that worked out for them. I found the software and some other things, and the only thing I'm waiting on is a power cable to plug into the power cable that's hanging out the back. And I'm about ready to go with it, but I didn't know if anybody here had actually done that before.
I haven't.
I have not, but it is big in my club. We have a 902 megahertz repeater, and a lot of them. In fact, my club president is real big on. I mean, he's converted a TK 981, I think it is. In fact, he's converted several to run on 902 megahertz ham bands. Now, that doesn't mean that I can help you with it, but I know there's information out there. And if you have the software, that's like 90% of it.
Well, hey, Don, is there anybody in your club, Don, that you could point out that may be able to help?
What I was going to say is like try to find KD4. Uh-oh.
That's me.
Yeah, I know.
That was my vape, apparently. What?
It's about to explode?
Yeah.
Smoke alarm.
Anything on top of your television is about to explode.
Yep, that's it. It was a shack smoke alarm. Apparently, the vape was too strong. We're good. Everything's fine.
Yeah,
You tried to become a vape god, and the god smited you.
Sorry, Don. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah, let me. The other one is KE4 GDB. KE5 GDB. Andrew. Andrew does most of our 2 meter 440 work, like all over this part of the deal, and he knows Jason really well. I keep trying to get Jason to bring him on to his channel because that guy knows stuff about repeaters and stuff that just completely blows me away. But anyway, Andrew would be somebody. So I can give you a couple of guys. You'll have to probably go on QRZ and get their emails because I don't have them, and email them, and I'm sure that I guarantee you they have resources for it. And I don't know that our club doesn't have something published that I might be able to find and pass along.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I found numerous resources, but it's sort of like a connect the dots picture, and there's some open spaces in places.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the software, and I'm about ready to install it, and you need a serial number for it, and I managed that one as well. It actually came with it. So I'll be probably tomorrow, Monday, I'll be squirreling around with it, working with it. But I got the KE5 GDP.
GDB. Golf Delta Bravo.
Oh, okay. Golf Delta Bravo, KE5 GDB. Okay, yeah, I'll look that up. Thanks.
And his name should be Andrew Koenig, I think.
Yeah, I'll look that up. If I need more, I'll post in here under the help section.
Or you may have to contact
that's
him directly.
the right guy.
You probably have to contact him directly. You're literally dipping into a space that's kind of niche. There are parts of ham radio that are so niche that you have to go direct to the people that do it. Generally.
Yeah, well, I just did an E.F. Johnson, an old E.F. Johnson for P25, a 5100 ES Series 6. That was like drinking from a fire hose because everything for it was made for Comtex that belonged to the government somewhere, not for ham radio. So you had to kind of wade your way through that stuff. It was like playing an adventure game, looking for the hidden keys.
You cannot has ye flask. Now you're talking mud territory, which is also something that Don is very experienced in.
Sorry, what? I'm trying to find that.
He was talking about text adventures.
Oh yeah, the original Zork, not the crappy one where they broke it apart into 3 pieces that for PCs. The original one written in MDL for the DEC System 20.
Oh, the DEC system was System 7, I think it was.
No, the one that I used was a DEC System 10/20, and in fact, it was a DEC System 20, and it was one of the first. By the way, I mean, well, no, I shouldn't get into this. This is not the place. But I mean, y'all, I don't know how many of you guys remember the old batch job systems, and what a big thing it was to go to interactive computers where you sat down and typed something and it came right back to you.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think most people understand that concept. That goes beyond the old save icon floppy disk world. Like at that point that we had that, we were already in any kind of computation where you got almost an immediate response, unless you're compiling or something like that.
Oh, the original Star Trek game.
Yes,
played on a PDP.
Yeah, and that the one on the DEC System 20, it had this thing called hard mode, and by the way, we would play this on those printing terminals where like the paper would scroll through, and that thing would run so fast it would the paper was literally jumping out of the silly terminal.
I remember those.
Yeah.
In fact, you haven't lived until you've seen an NCR 32 character line printer that had the arms that came out with it had all the letters on that one arm, and these whole things of arms would lift up and go whack into the paper and then drop back down again. Yeah,
I'm not going to get into this because I guarantee you there are too many people here who get very bored when we talk computers. So. But
the only thing that keeps
stories.
the people around is talking about old Sinclairs. That's the only thing that old Sinclairs and Commodores. That's the hot topic in vintage computing.
Yes, 360, 370 JCL just doesn't interest anyone.
All right,
making punch cards for DEC PDP 11s.
All right. Any other ham radio questions? Because otherwise I'm going to wrap things up here. Shane is telling me that there's a thunderstorm rolling through. Shane, where are you at? Shane, how close are you?
Sorry, I'm in Orange, and it's really starting to pour here.
Okay, so that means it's close to me. So I'm going to have to wrap up the WSJTX contacts, FT8 contacts pretty quick here. But also I got to take care of the kids because my wife just left. So any other ham radio questions? Because otherwise I'm going to start wrapping it up.
Damn it! If you look at the radar, Josh, you'll see it. It's pretty bad.
Oh, here we go, dude. Shane, we really needed it. We as a Californian, I have to say, we really needed this rain, guys. We really needed it. Let's pull up the weather radar.
Yeah, with the light, we can do without the lightning strikes, but yeah. Anyway.
Well, hams, we worry about that, but
you're not a real ham until you start transmitting on a lightning strike. Turn the lightning strike into your antenna.
I don't know that I want to do that.
Yeah, that doesn't end well, and usually requires a lot of repairs afterwards. Ask me how I know.
I saw what lightning strikes did when I was in the military, and believe me, you don't want to be around when one of those happens. I had a senior chief warrant officer in a Jeep one time, and the lightning hit his Jeep, and he had one of those big whip antennas for his VHF radio on it, and that thing looked like the broom that was ridden by the Wicked Witch in the Wizard of Oz when it was done. And he was really lucky that lightning went around him to the ground through the Jeep frame. He had to change his underwear afterwards.
Okay, this is a really weird, really weird side tangent to go on. Warrant officers are really interesting people, highly technically skilled. There's a guy on TikTok who's a warrant officer, and he makes TikToks, and they are the best TikToks. He
Are you talking about the bald one who's in the army?
Yes.
That guy is fucking. Oh, sorry, language. That guy is hilarious as hell.
The best.
He is amazing.
So his avatar for TikTok is Saitama, the one punch guy, because he's bald too, but it's wearing the ACU camo. He's got the ACU up, like the ACU top. His blouse is ACU, and it looks like Saitama. He is the best. He's one of the best TikTokers ever, and he's a warrant officer, and just kicks ass. He. It's the best. He's the best. He's one of the best TikToks. He's the chief something, right? Or what is he called? Oh God, I have to look it up.
In the army,
I don't remember. He only ever shows up like on my For You page just randomly, and every time I like whatever video shows up.
Brian, Cleveland, you're on the Savage Nation. Go ahead.
Oh my
God. Oh yeah, every warrant officer I had was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You could trust him for anything.
Yeah. Highly technical. Because what was the warrant officer's deal? Is that they were basically an officer, except they were extremely focused in one specific technical area, right? That was kind of their jam.
Yeah, the warrant officers fall between non-commissioned officers and commissioned officers, and they have a warrant from the Secretary of the Service instead of a commission from the President. It's about the same thing. They get a warrant from the Secretary of the Army.
Yeah, so they're like somewhere between like a lieutenant and a sergeant, but they were like super technical, and you didn't want to F with them, right? Was that kind of the idea?
That's exactly it. Especially a CW4 or CW5, you did not want to screw with them.
Yeah,
but
they're also like
25-year service or something.
Not all of them. No, a lot of them are. Some of them are young.
The standard going for warrant officers is they're either like 25 and like a helicopter cowboy who can rebuild an Apache like the back of their hand, or they're like 55 and like have just done it by sheer time and pure determination, just of like hatred is why they're still there.
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta find this guy. What is his name on TikTok? Yes. I'm gonna lose it.
I need to see this too. It's got to be entertaining. Having known a few of them.
There it is. I found him. He is one punch ex dad. There it is. This guy is the best. Look at his avatar. Let me go to his channel. His avatar is Saitama with a blouse, with a blood upper, and it is so good. And he does all these filters. Let me find one where he's got he does filters with. Oh God, I'm gonna lose it. The closest proximity to me, I'm so Air Force and Navy, like the people that I deal with is like full bird colonel. Like when I see like a full bird colonel roll up, and he does a direct like just copy of that same mentality. I've got to find he uses the filters on TikTok. So here you go.
25 U.S. Army. You know, I get asked all the time, Billy, how do you keep your mustache so supple and sleek? Mustache Weekly called it one of the top 3 mustaches of the 21st century. Well, it may come as a surprise to you, but the secret is simple. Now, don't get me wrong. Every morning I wake up and make sure this sucker's...
You gotta just love it.
But then we add
You
the
don't ever
secret
want to
ingredient,
gamble with one
which is
either.
all
Not
natural.
dice, not cards.
Yes, sir. The American badger is known for his cunning and his hunting prowess. Unfortunately, they're also known for being mean as shit. So our experts work painstaking hours to extract mustache oil so that you can look like a chief. So call now and order
It's
badger oil for
badger oil for us, but no, I gotta find. God damn it! I gotta find. There's no. No, that's not. No, that's Command Sergeant Major. he breaks down all the different ranks. It's so funny, man. Again, this is Chief was what he goes by, but it's 1X Punch X Dad on TikTok. If you're in the military, particularly the Army, this is the best channel you can be following. Seriously, if you have no reason to get on TikTok, this is your reason. This is it. Like he's the best. And I'm telling you, what's so funny about it is when he starts talking about like the high. I mean, what's commensurate to a full bird colonel in the Army? Like what's close to that? I don't know how to translate.
Colonel, it's colonel in every service, and then Navy, and then the Navy it's a captain.
L5, okay.
05 or
05.
No,
oh my
06.
God.
Full colonel is 06.
So you're talking colonel though, right? And like, oh my God, like the way he talks, it's like this man has dealt with all these people, and it just cracks me up. I gotta find one because I sit in boardroom conversations with these guys, and I'm like, man, he is spot on. Oh, this is it. I got it. Okay, Lieutenant Colonels. Here we go. All right, here we go.
All right. I think what we need to do here, team.
Lieutenant Colonel's in 05.
Circle back. Okay. You walk the dog. Okay. Think about the 8-step training model. The 8-step training model. This is one of the CG's big 5. The brigade commanders.
Yeah, no audio.
Consider this one of your battalion commanders.
It's on the
big
mic.
14. Okay, it's game time. Right. Play ball. You know.
You don't hear it?
Time.
Very briefly, and then
it's because it's cutting out because you're hearing it on Twitch and
straight to the
YouTube.
penalty box. I mean, you're out of there. Synthesis.
Hold on.
Commanders, guidance.
Oh my God, my freaking ears.
Okay. This reminds me of a book I once read.
Oh yeah,
Reminds me
Thunder's
of
coming in.
Army Times article I was reading the other day. You guys seen the TED Talk with the guy here? Okay. All right. I think what we need to do here, team, is circle back. No, just circle back, okay? You walk the dog. Okay? Think about the 8-step training model. The 8-step training model. This is one of the CG's big 5. The brigade commander's big 7. Consider this one of your battalion commander's big 14. Okay? It's game time, right? Play ball, you know? Whoa. Time out. Right? Home run. Touchdown. Absolutely. That's a birdie. Massive foul ball. Okay. Straight to the penalty box. I mean, you're out of there. Synthesis. Commander's guidance. Commander's intent. Commander's cup. Okay. This reminds me of a book I once read. Reminds me of an Army Times article I was reading the other day. You guys seen the TED Talk with the guy here? Okay.
Okay, hopefully that found home with some of you. It found home with me. So
I hate that so much.
But it's accurate, right? It's totally
It
accurate.
was so accurate,
Yeah.
I hated it. That reminded me of too many intern briefings this summer. Good God. I hated every second of that. Please God. No.
The reading glasses are classic. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Every one of them I've ever had to deal with is like that. I guess the full birds are a little bit more bravado than that. Like, just like, I don't know how to explain it. The machismo is a little bit higher. No.
I think we lost his audio.
Oh, am I back? You can hear me? No?
Yeah, I can hear you on Discord.
Oh, okay. I'm good, right? Everybody's good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let me type the username.
Yeah, Scott.
Again, because it's not gonna like anyway, TikTok's kind of a shit show for some of that. So it is 1 X punch X dad. And if you just search Master Chief, or sorry, what did I search? I searched Warrant Officer Chief. What did I search? Hold on. I just searched Warrant Officer. If you just search Warrant Officer on TikTok, it'll come up. He'll come up. He's the only one. Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna pack it in, guys, because we're starting to get the rain here.
And Scott wanted to ask you about the new Monster movie.
Yeah, Scott, go ahead. Did you watch it, man? Because I don't know. I thought it was a comedy for like kids, right? Wasn't that kind of the jam that it felt like?
It's really goofy, but I think he did a really good job of recreating it, and definitely recreating the actual house was pretty incredible.
Are you a big Rob? You're a Rob Zombie fan, right? I think.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for a great night.
Hey, take it easy, Mike.
Yeah, I play a lot of his songs on my drums, so.
I mean, I like. I guess I like his music more than his movies. I guess I could say.
His movies are pretty. I mean, if you go back to like Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses and Three from Hell, those are really just, you gotta really like the gore to enjoy that.
I like.
It's a little too much edgy even for me.
I like the clown. Who's the clown? He's died. He passed away recently.
Yeah, Captain Spaulding.
Captain Spaulding. That was probably the best character he's ever come up with. I don't know that he came up with it or Captain Spaulding was just somebody he found, but that guy is just, that whole thing was just amazing. Captain Spaulding was like the best.
Yeah, the guy who played Captain Spaulding, his very first movie was called Spider Baby. It was back in the 60s. He plays like a psychopath in that. So he's always been in like these weird B horror.
No surprise. No surprise. Yeah, that Captain Spaulding's really, really good. That's possibly the. I didn't like. Did he was also the devil. The Hills Have Eyes. Isn't that also connected to to the Devil's Rejects or is that?
No, I think that's a different director entirely. But I know Zombie did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I believe. He also redid Halloween and some other ones.
Yeah, I don't.
He always has his wife in movies now too. So
yeah, I don't know that I like his movies as much. I don't know.
His music's better. He should stick to the music.
Have you ever watched
Gemskin likes Halloween? I'll watch it.
Have you ever watched the Umbrella Academy?
I have watched all the seasons of the Umbrella Academy, and I generally like it. Yeah,
I watched the last season, and the second to the last season, I kind of got fed up with it. But then
I can see that.
I started watching the second one, and like from the first episode, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I had to watch the whole freaking thing.
The second
I
season?
found it good.
The second
season? Third.
Is that the one where they go back in time?
It's the one where they come back from going back in time.
And that's where there's the second. It's not the umbrella. It's the sparrows. Yeah, that was okay. That was okay.
No, I just was blown away. I thought it was pretty damn good.
By the way, if you have Prime right now, every single James Bond film is included with Prime.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Okay, what is everybody's number one favorite James Bond movie? Before I wrap things up,
I'd have to say Goldfinger.
I've got a few. Goldfinger and Thunderball 500. The undersea stuff with the.
Although No Time to Die was pretty incredible.
And really,
No Time to Die was great.
With George Lazenby.
I didn't like No Time to Die. Oh my God, who is that? Stop it. I really liked. I won't say Casino Royale is my favorite, and I mean the Daniel Craig Casino Royale, but that's one of the high regards for Casino Royale. Like I really like Daniel Craig in Casino Royale. I thought it was really good.
It took me a while to get used to Daniel Craig as Bond, but in the end, I really like him. I put him right up against Sean Connery.
I love just the brawler,
Agreed.
just complete brawler,
He's evil.
aggressive, like
More like the
totally,
book.
like exactly, Paul, exactly.
If you read the book, he was he was a killer. He didn't give a shit about anybody or anything.
Morality
Just
was
went
a
in.
secondary consideration. Yeah,
It's
They
like,
couldn't portray that in movies back in the 60s, which is why it took until now to actually show it.
Right.
I mean, if you watch Dr. No, the first James Bond movie, which is a great movie, but it's like, okay, when it ended, you were like, that's it. But Goldfinger took it. It was funny. It took it to another level. It was exciting. But when Daniel Craig came out in Casino Royale, and I almost thought for a second you were going to say Woody Allen, and I was going to say, okay, I give up.
Well, the reason I brought up the whole James Bond thing is apparently it's been 60 years that Bond has been on film.
Yep.
And on Amazon Prime, they just released the 60 years of Bond music, which goes into all of the details about how they created all the theme songs for Bond over the years, and how they picked out specific people to sing the songs for it. And it's an incredible documentary.
There's a fun factoid. Did you know that Daniel Craig is the longest running Bond?
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Did you know that?
Really?
And
yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm not at all, and excuse me, but I'm not at all in favor of the direction they're heading.
Sure.
Longest running, but not the most movies, maybe.
I guess
Yes, correct. Well, no, actually, he does have. He's more than the top three. So Sean Connery, Daniel. No, who am I thinking of? Moore. And
Roger Moore.
Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan. I think he has more than Pierce Brosnan, or tied with Pierce Brosnan.
They're not reviving it though, right? I mean, after this last movie, that's the
no.
series.
Well, that's
Nope.
no. They're gonna
woke.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'll stop watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
If I had to pick, I think Octopussy is on the list for sure.
That was good.
So good. It's probably Roger Moore's probably best. The Sean Connerys are difficult because I liked all of them, but they're like slow and they're not the book, right? So if you've read a James Bond book, it is more like the Daniel Craig. That's why I like Casino Royale so much. But
an interesting factoid.
What's the one where he's in the bungalow and somebody comes into it's when he's in the Aston Martin and they come through the door and he already has the silenced pistol and he shoots the guy. That's probably my favorite Sean Connery. I can't remember what the hell that is off the top of my head.
I think that was You Only Live Twice.
I think it's You Only Live Twice. It's probably my favorite Sean Connery. I actually
that's in Japan, right?
Is that the one where he?
Yeah, you Only Live Twice is in Japan. I think the one where he's waiting in the bungalow, that one's in like the Caribbean. That's a different movie.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I'll have to look it up, but I don't know. I like all of them except I don't love the Lazenby ones, and I don't think that's a. I don't think anybody's
there's only one of
surprised by
those.
that.
There's
Yeah,
a reason for it.
That was also Casino Royale, wasn't it?
I really dig Lazenby. That's the only Bond film I own. He's not my favorite, but that's the one I own. He gets all the chicks.
Yeah.
He gets it's Blofeld again.
Yes.
And
yes.
You get the gondola and the killer toboggan ride, and then he gets married and she dies.
Yeah. Oddly enough, as a Bond, I think Lazenby is actually a good Bond. He fits the role. He's a good-looking guy. He's buff and he's big. Like
he's a big brawling Australian.
Yeah, big brawler Australian. I'm totally on board. I think just the script and everything just didn't work out for him. I don't know.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is that movie he's in, that's what established...
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, that's it. Yeah.
That's what established the hatred between Bond and Blofeld, and became like this huge vendetta for the rest of the movies on.
It's such an interesting like story arc, all of it. Like if you consider all of it together, it's a compelling story.
They drove the dump truck.
The reason I think Goldfinger kind of takes over in choice is because Dr. No was made on a shoestring. They didn't have much budget for that, and they had enough money out of that they could really make Goldfinger like they wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't love Goldfinger that much. I know people do. I just don't love it that much.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I'm just
Josh,
one of those
that was
people.
Dr. No, where he's waiting in, and he says, "That's a Smith & Wesson, and you've had your 6."
Oh, okay. So I do like Dr. No. I do like that. I'm not a big fan of Goldfinger. I don't know why. I also like I also like Goldeneye. Goldeneye is also like definitely on the list for sure.
Good game too. Oh, sorry.
Goldeneye is one of the last places you can see Arecibo in full assembly.
Yeah.
Because Arecibo is where they have the fight with what's his name, the guy who always dies in movies from Game of Thrones.
Mm.
But my other favorite one has got to be Skyfall.
And who is the guy with the big dude with the silver?
Skyfall's
teeth?
good. Jaws. That's Jaws.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, Odd Job is in Goldeneye, and that's all right.
Odd Job is in Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. Goldfinger. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
The Korean guy with the top hat.
Yeah.
Goldfinger. I liked him too, but
it's okay.
Yeah, but Jaws was in Moonraker and a couple other ones.
Which oddly enough, I can't say Moonraker is in my top tier like Bond movies, but I like Moonraker. It is so ridiculous. It is so stupid when they're all like in their little jump jets blasting each other with laser beams. It's hilarious.
Yes. I really liked all of the Bond.
That's the one that has the
Thunderball's good too. Thunderball's good.
Isn't Moonraker the one where they have the real gyrojet pistol?
Yes. No, that's the one with the one in Louisiana where it's all the voodoo.
That's kind of jumping the shark though.
Literally jump the shark. That's the one with the spin flip car that he jumps across.
It was before Fonzie jumped the shark.
If you think that's jumping the shark, just look at the last one. God, the last one was bad.
I agree. The last one was awful. Delayed for all kinds of reasons, and then it sucked.
Well, and then what's happening in it, you can see the direction they're going.
Are you talking about No Time to Die?
No, the very last one they just did.
Yeah, No Time to Die.
No Time to Die. I didn't like it.
What it was?
I did not like it.
No,
I thought the Bond villain was trash.
Well, I'm sorry, but the woman that you see at the very end, that's your next Bond.
The woman you see at the very end?
The black lady that
she was through the whole movie.
007.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, she was in and out of the whole movie.
Never going to happen.
So okay,
it's already been announced.
So okay. So here's the fun part about all of this. I don't have a problem with there being a woman Bond. I don't care. To the end of the day, I don't care. The reality is that the script writing and the scenes and all that stuff that they put it all together to make a proper movie will probably be bad because they're not actually going to make her like Bond. And that character exists. That is a thing that exists in writing, that it doesn't need to be a Scottish boxer that grew up that then becomes James Bond, a part of the UK Secret Service or secret whatever. MI6. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be a black woman out of Glasgow. I don't care. But how well do they fit the character? Right? I want to see that character, and it could be a woman. I'd love to see it. It sounds like a really hard movie to make, but I just don't think they'll do it. I don't think they have the balls to do it.
Well, what they'll end up doing is what they do with all of those movies. They'll end up, rather than telling you a Bond story, they're going to preach at you for an hour and a half.
Exactly.
Bond movies are very, very expensive to produce, and they have to do huge box office.
Yeah,
well, but
look at all the tries they've made with that same stupid formula, trying to preach at you that you're not living your life the right way.
Well,
what a waste of Rami Malek as well. I thought the beginning of that.
Oh, I love that guy. I love that guy. Great actor.
Him walking on the ice towards the house in the beginning. I thought that was really good. And
yes.
But you thought the movie was going to be better than that, though.
Yeah, I did.
Tons better.
Yeah. I agree. Skyfall is really good. That would make my list. Honestly, Daniel Craig has a couple of really good movies that I would put on the list. I think that Pierce Brosnan has Goldeneye. I think Roger Moore has a ton of good ones. A ton.
No Love for Live and Let Die.
From Russia with Love, Octopussy. How many other Roger Moore ones could we put on the list? It would be like, yes, I would absolutely just.
With Love with Sean Connery.
But I mean, like, that's what I'm saying is all those original ones, we'd all put them on the list of like, I will just sit down and watch them versus the newer stuff that's coming out.
For sure.
Pierce Brosnan was good.
What's the one where he has a crocodile head and he comes swimming through the.
That's
pond?
Octopussy. That's Octopussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's also the saw blade guy his only ability is to be above you and attack you from above with his saw blade yo-yo. Favorite guy. and Roger Moore grabs the line where the blade is and then pulls the guy down, and it doesn't cause the yo-yo to come up, which just cracks me up. Lotus Submarine was the one with Christopher Walken. Who? God, what is that one? The Living Daylights? I think it's the Living Daylights, right?
Daylights.
That's where View to a Kill. That's the theme song View to a Kill comes from.
From Duran Duran.
Yes, that is horrible. That's where it gets really campy. Really, well, Roger Moore was all camp, and then of course you had Never Say Never Again, which was the return of Sean Connery, where he had a souped-up Honda Goldwing.
And that was the only movie not produced in the Sean Connery line by United Films, where it was.
Did it for the money.
I had to order that one special just to get it on DVD because it was not in the regular lineup with any of the other Bond films.
Technically, his last one was Diamonds Are Forever, I think, but then you had the back turnaround with Kim Basinger, right? Because Diamonds Are Forever was technically his last one, which is in Vegas. And then that turned into Never Say Never Again, which was Kim Basinger, was the Bond chick.
We all were talking about expensive movies and the cost of movies. Go look at the preview for next year's Mission Impossible. That's going to be insane.
But they bring in all kinds of money, though.
Yeah, completely. Well, honestly, that's actually the original Mission Impossible is a really good movie. It still stands up really well. It's really fun. Original, I mean Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Right. When they dropped Tom Cruise from the ceiling horizontally and he stopped 6 inches from the floor, it was like, okay, this is going to be good. And then when he peeled the face mask off,
oh yeah, it's so good.
It was like, okay, yeah, I buy it.
And you get the red light, green light with the helicopter in the tunnel. It just, it's so good. It was, yeah. There's so many good movies that like are not perfect, and Bond has a ton of those, but they're still really fun. I don't know. I guess you got to be in the right place for a lot of them.
Scott's right though. If you get a chance to watch the music of 007 at Royal Albert Hall with the London Philharmonic, it was awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to hear that. Do they actually do the good. View to a Kill? They do Duran Duran?
Yeah. They did every theme song, and a very good friend of ours is the first violin for the Philharmonic, and she's like, do you want to pop over and see it? And I was like, no, because she thought we were going to be in London. I was like, no. I said, I'm still recuperating. She's like, it's going to be on Prime. You have to watch it. And I'm sitting there and watching. She's first violin, so you see her on the second row all the way to the left. But it was awesome. And she sent us pictures from backstage with all these people that were, performing. Like they had Hans Zimmer, who most people know was the writer of Miami Vice and 48 Hours. But he actually did 2 of the theme songs, which I wasn't aware of. But they had Charlie Bassey opening it up with singing Goldfinger and Diamonds Are Forever. It was awesome. You should watch it.
Live and Let Live is also probably one of my favorite Bond songs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so help me out. 2E0KNO Felix. What's the second picture from? Is that the guy from Parks and Rec? What am I looking at with the halo over his head? What's happening there?
Oh, that's a show called Devs.
Is it good? Have you guys watched it? Devs?
Well, he says it is, I think.
Okay.
But so Paul, did you see what I dropped?
What's the best Bond song? Can we agree on that?
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger is the best
ISL.
Bond song?
Actually, Adele's Skyfall.
I was getting Paul. That's where I was gonna go. Skyfall is
Diamonds
my
Are
pick.
Forever. Diamonds Are Forever.
I don't know.
Diamonds Are Forever is good.
Diamonds Are Forever. Shirley Bassey, big voice.
Yeah.
Well, I personally prefer the Paul McCartney, but whatever.
Live and Let Live. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wings.
So for me, it's Skyfall and then Live and Let Live.
It's Live and Let Die, isn't it?
Live and
I think
Live and
that's
Let Die.
right.
Yeah,
Live
right,
and
right.
Let Die.
Yeah, sorry.
I think for me it'd be Skyfall and Casino Royale, and then maybe like Goldfinger. Goldfinger is so crazy for its time.
Goldfinger at the time was like, just revolutionary.
I'm talking about the song though.
Movie.
Song, right? We're talking about song.
For a movie.
Yeah, the song.
Yeah, people don't go around singing the theme song of movies.
I do. I walk around singing Skyfall all the time.
And the girl that sang Goldfinger was one of the only performers to ever be asked to come back and do a second Bond film theme song.
Really?
Shirley Bassey. That was Shirley Bassey, and she was a jazz singer.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I do like to hum the Pink Panther theme from time to time.
And Goldfinger really pushed the boundaries with the MPAA and and all the rules that they had to abide by. That's it finally got past about 1967 is when things opened up.
So there's a good complete tangent question. Best Peter Sellers movie.
Oh God.
Dr. Strangelove.
100%. 100%. 100%. How many characters can this man play in one movie?
Yeah. Exactly. All of them. Yeah.
Dr. Strangelove. They actually wanted him to play.
So good. It is so
they wanted
good.
him to play another role on the bomber, and I think something happened with his ankle or something, and he had to back out from that. But he almost had another role.
Mm-hmm. Well, he couldn't have replaced Chill Will on the bomb though.
Oh, you're talking about Slim Pickens?
Oh, Slim Pickens. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to play the role of Slim Pickens. And they
No
way.
Never.
No.
So perfect.
It was
so perfect the way it is.
It was so good. HKMP5S says the world is not enough. That's it. Yeah, I don't know that I would say world is not enough would be on the world is not enough is the one with the. Is Madonna in that one with the fencing scene? Is that the one?
I think so.
That was a good shot. The fencing scene, probably one of my higher level Bond action scenes was the fencing scene. I really like that. I don't think that was it though. I could be wrong.
And another great Peter Sellers movie is The Mouse That Roared.
Yes, Peter Sellers was such a fantastic actor.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, I think that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thanks so much on the after chat on the Discord. Thanks you guys for coming out. Appreciate you hanging out. But we're gonna wrap things up here. You guys hang out. I'm gonna go though. So 73, everybody. Take it easy.
Thanks, Josh. Good night.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I cut Don off there. I apologize, Don. All right, everybody on the YouTube and the Twitch. Thank you for watching. Yep, lots of chats coming in there. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. I hope y'all check out Radio Deluxe. There's a free trial, so go ahead and do that. And if you want to buy it, for a year, 12 months, HRCC 25, you get 25% off, and that sounds like a smoking good deal. And then again, once you paid for that year, You can still keep your Ham Radio Deluxe running at the endpoint. Just, update it, keep it updating, and you'll always have the most up-to-date version of the last time you paid for that license, which is still better than, most can say with a lot of the software they have. So anyway, that's it. Take it easy, everybody. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Have some memes and some music.
My parents always.
Take it easy, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Get ready for some next week videos because we got some fun stuff coming out. Take it easy. See ya.